Hey, how you doing? This is Sejihito here to bring you the news. Again, my apologies, even though it's against everything that I have here, my power, of course, that you guys cannot properly get the notifications that you deserve. Again, I put up a post just recently, I want to say about maybe less than 24 hours ago or so, that asked anybody out there, like, hey, are you guys able to see this post? Um, I had a few people directly that was outside, of the subscription or the subscriber list that stated that, yeah, I just so happened to have seen it. I had a lot of other people that are a part of the channel that told me, like, hey, I haven't seen you post in months, haven't seen you directly in years. I had other people basically tell me, like, yo, YouTube actually unsubscribed me from your platform. And that was one of the things that I told you guys about specifically, where on the background for me, YouTube was like, hey, we're going through, channels, and we're getting rid of subscribers that are either not active or what we believe to be duplicate or troll accounts. And that was listed on my profile for many months. Many months that was listed. And throughout those months, I was able to witness and see a downtick in subscribers when it dealt with the platform and the channel. And in a lot of cases, at least for the original channel, I saw that go down by hundreds, literally over the course of months, not years, over the course of months. So, yeah, as I've stated to you guys before, I know specifically how it is that subscribers are lost and how it is that people are unsubscribed directly from platforms, because I've been able to actually see and witness this myself. And I also showed you guys by way of another platform, aka TikTok, that if I decide that I want to follow somebody, they will immediately, after I refresh the page, they will immediately unfollow them for me, which makes no sense, right? So I'm not sure if this is a TikTok limitation, or how specifically that works on that platform, or if anybody else has that problem. But again, I've done videos to showcase problems and issues directly out here so that people can understand and get a little bit of clarity, what it is that I'm talking about. But this is a entertaining live stream today, nothing too serious. So, people can technically just relax and take in the conversations that we are going to hear at this moment in time. And as the title has stated, it's about corny, I'm sorry, corny and lame is in style, right? So we're going to take a look at this very first video of this woman, and we're going to hear her explanation directly on it.
Y'all are wearing me out. Let's talk about corny men and not corny men, okay? Leave these bad boys alone. You don't want them. They might be fun when you're young. They don't work. They want to party all the time. They want to do drugs. They want to smoke. They want to hustle. Leave them alone. This is the year to get a corny man, okay? We're moving on. That's the new groove. If you corny, you are for me. Russell Wilson. Think like that. You want a man that want to go to school, want to study, want to have a steady job. Because let me tell you something, okay? You're going to look up in that corny dude who was working a 9 to 5, going to school and all that stuff. You're going to look up, and 10 years later, he going to own the store. He going to own the McDonald's. He going to have his doctor's degree. He going to have whatever else. And you done passed up on him when you was young and fine and kidless, playing with the hustlers, okay? And he going to be married to somebody else looking at you crazy like, no, he don't want you. Ladies, it's time to play the long, smart game. Get somebody with potential who likes you. He may be corny. He may not have it all. But guess what? Y'all can grow together. And you'll be looking back and you'll thank me later. Okay? This is the year to get a corny man. That's what's back in style.
Now, everybody was able to hear that, right? And this is an older woman who is stating this, right? Now, I will say that there are some points there, right? A woman should focus in on a guy that, has his stuff together. That is not about the drugs or the streets, right? That's about being responsible, that actually wants to build something, right? That wants to take care. Somebody, a guy that wants longevity in a relationship, right? Not just a hit and run, right? But the thing that I've noticed directly online is this: a lot of women will label the educated, the stable, respectful, the guy that will actually value you, that wants to grow with you, that wants to have a long-term relationship, get married and engaged. They will label those guys as corny. The guy that has the 9 to 5, corny. The guy that has, dreams, corny. And I'm like, how did we get here? The nice guy, corny. How did we get here? How is it that when you have a guy that's doing what he's supposed to do every single day, he's respectful, he values a woman, he values her time, he's respectful, he's automatically corny, he's automatically lame? I'm like, how did we get here? I thought the lame thing in life was trying to take the shortcuts and the easy route. I thought that was a whole thing of like, hey, somebody deciding to sell drugs, somebody wanting to commit, all different types of crime. I thought that was lame and corny. But now it's switched. And I'm like, it's not. And I want people to understand, guys are not the ones that specifically switched this to be the thing to be. We didn't do that. It was dictated because certain women out here find certain things attractive, right? A lot of women out here, and this is away from the internet, right? Because some people will say like, well, these are just social media, internet conversations, right? And for the most part, there is truth directly in that. But at the same time, before the internet was the internet, we can go back to the mid to the early 2000s to the 90s. A lot of women found what? The drug dealers, the guys hanging out on the streets, the guys in gangs, the guys doing this, that, and the third, guys committing crimes. Always found those dudes attractive. It was always something appealing about those guys. And like I said, it ain't no hate here. If you are one of those guys and that's what you're doing and you getting to feel the women, glory to the winner. I don't got nothing to do with that. All I'm stating is the fact that it's a shame that one set of guys is, in a sense, looked down upon because they're not acting the same as another group. And because of that, they are deemed a negative in society. It's crazy to me. Completely crazy. The other thing that I want people to actually understand about this video, too, is the fact that you're starting to hear a lot of women. Shout out to Kevin Samuels, RIP. You're starting to see a lot of women take whatever it is that Kevin Samuels was saying directly over the years on his platform. And I want people to remember, damn near every woman out here, and I can make that generalization, damn near every woman out here hated Kevin Samuels. And that is a fact. When you went directly online, Kevin Samuels was pretty much a household name. People knew exactly who he is, who he was, what his platform was about, what it is that he talked about to an extent, right? People didn't want to go on the whole, extent of what Kevin Samuels, specifically talked about in the beginning. They didn't care about that. People only wanted to talk about when it was that he was talking to women, or specifically when people felt that he was really getting on black women in a certain type of way, in a certain type of light, and they felt that it was really negative and yada, 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 right? Regardless of the good advice and everything else that he basically stated, right? So now, after Kevin Samuels is no longer here, you have some of the people that built platforms just trying to, regurgitate and talk negatively about him. Their platforms don't pretty much exist anymore because they can't go off of that content because he is no longer with us in order to make said content. So now people have evolved. Now women are taking everything that he has stated, repackaging it, and now they're just trying to ship it out as if it is them that's been saying this. And it's like, no, it's always been a man or men stating these things, and it's the fact that women didn't want to sit up there and listen. So pay attention to how she sat up there and said, like, you need to play the long game. Kevin Samuels told a lot of women that. Kevin Samuels told a lot of women that, but a lot of women was like, no, who are you to sit up there and tell us this, that, and the third? Look at the way you look at the way you live in. You're probably alone. And it was all this other type of stuff because a lot of women were in denial. A lot of women don't like to admit that they have made mistakes and being or selecting certain types of guys because they found certain things within that guy attractive that originally they should have never even been looking at to begin with. This is why a lot of women are in the circumstances that they are in at this moment in time. But like I said, and this is how we get to this video here where you have a woman saying corny is now in style. Really? That's what we're doing. So now the guys that spent their lives getting an education, that spent their lives trying to build value, build knowledge, build their money up. Now they're in style because you're done playing around. So you were all fine shutting down those guys in your early years throughout your 20s and a portion of your 30s. So now when you're older and everything is already said and done and the seasons are starting to set in, now you're like, okay, well, it's time for a corny guy. I'm ready to relax. No, no, you don't know. You don't get to do that. You got to stay exactly where it is that you are because you've placed yourself in that bed. So now you got to sleep in it. So no, I'm not with the whole corny thing is in style. If there are any brothers out there that have ever been considered corny, you better be dodging and moving directly out the way and allow those women out there to have the room that they always wanted away from you. So now we're going to go directly into the next clip here.
Is more than likely sometimes the good dude be corny.
I'm gonna be real. See, I'm gonna speak for myself personally. I laid it down the best when I didn't have nowhere to stay. When I was trying to like put that thing on her so I can have somewhere to sleep at for the night. It was survival. I'm smashing for survival. She got groceries in her refrigerator. And she got a car I can drive. I don't have no license. I don't have no car. I don't have no roof over my head. Let me go in here and lay it down.
And then you're bad for her because she not getting nothing out of that, but good
She not getting nothing out of it.
So you heard that conversation, right? And I'm going to specifically make sure to leave it directly on this brother here. This would be the example of what would be considered a Pookie and a Ray Ray, right? And he specifically stated from his own mouth, right? The woman was like, and she ain't getting nothing out of that whole situation with you. And he was like, you're right. She ain't getting nothing. And I'm getting everything. And I want people to understand a lot of women complain about guys like this, but they're only going to complain to an extent because women are actually getting something out of it, that gratification that a lot of women saying that they don't happen to get. They're getting their, for lack of a better word, their back scratched, that itch, right? So he is giving and doing something specifically for that woman. So in return, because it's in a sense a symbiotic relationship, because that's the only thing that those women are really looking for, he gets what it is that he gets. He has a bed or a couch to basically sleep in. He's housed, right? He's more than likely clothed because she's buying him clothes. He has some money directly in his pocket. He has a car to drive as well. So it's almost like if you ever seen the movie Baby Boy with Tyrese, it's pretty much that exact same thing. He gets to lay around, not work, don't have a job. He gets to, pretty much be in the house, guard the house, talking on the phone, walking through the house like he owned a place. He might have a PlayStation or something directly in there. And the only thing he got to do is, do a couple of pipe sessions and that's pretty much it. Because that's all that's needed. That's how easy it is. And this is the main thing that I told to a lot of guys before, that if a woman actually likes you, in a sense, you don't have to work for nothing. So the women that he dealt with, now I know some people might say that they had low self-esteem, minus all of that. The fact of the matter is the women were interested in him enough that he didn't have to work for nothing. Notice he never said that, I had to get my money up so I could take them on dates. I had to buy them gifts. I had to, really show them that I'm different from every other guy or the guys that they ran into or dated. I really had to step. He didn't state none of that. He was like, all I had to sit up there and do, it was a fight for survival. I just had to lay it down real quick just to make sure that I got what it is that I got. And that's it. It was easy street. So again, when a lot of women sit up there and tell you that it takes work in order to be with them, you got some out there that are being factual, but you have a lot of others out there that are completely lying. And you know this if you go through the history of men that they have been with, if they're actually being honest. And a lot of women are not going to be honest because they don't want to be wrong. And that's just a factual thing. Ain't even nothing to argue about. It just is specifically what it is. Now, the other thing that I want to point out is this, right? The two women here. When he was clearly explaining exactly what it was, they was all smiling. They was all completely smiling. They was just in there because they know what it is because they've been there. They've done it, or they might actually still be doing it at this moment in time. And also they find it attractive, which is the craziest thing. It's like a lot of people sit up there and say, how do men only find women attractive if they only have one selling point? It's the same way how women only find men attractive that only have one selling point or one redeeming quality. It's the exact same thing, you know. But people don't want to see it the same way. They want to try to write a whole thesis and try to separate on how it's different because of the sexist and all of these other types of things. And realistically, it's not different. It's the same thing. People just decide to selectively choose who it is that they want to sit up there and choose. And again, a lot of women find broke guys attractive. They find Tyrones and Pookies and Ray Rays highly attractive. They're highly sought after. If you don't believe me, you can go directly out there and again have conversations with women and see how many nice guys that they've successfully dated and are married to versus how many other guys that they have unsuccessfully dated and continuously date. But then want to turn around and get online and try to blame guys for the reason why the selection of guys is so low or so poor. Right. Also, shout out to Sonny, John Doe, James Hudson, Sanford Taylor. Much love, respect, and appreciation. Let's roll directly into the next one.
For the first time yesterday by myself, like, Atlanta is getting expensive. Like, I was at Blue Martini, so I bought a hookah. No, first of all, let's rewind it back. First of all, parking was $20. Not only parking was $20, I had to walk my little ass across the street to get to Blue Martini. They had a ballet, but the ballet was packed, so the ballet was the same amount of money as me walking across the street. That just don't add up. Then I sat at the bar by myself, like, oh, let me get a hookah or whatever. So she said the hookah was $50. So when she rung it up, it said $66. So I'm like, in my head, I didn't really say nothing, but in my head, I'm like, the hookah was only $50. So that's $66 for a hookah. And then I wanted to get me a lychee martini. So the lychee martinis was $17. And when she rung it up, it was $22. Like, please, babe, just get me a tab. Just tab me up. Then I looked at that receipt. It said $10 tip. I don't mind tipping, but let me make my own tip, okay? Don't put it on the receipt, then you double tip if I give you more money. If I don't pay attention, which you swipe on my card, but I do pay attention. So they're adding their own tip. So just remember that. And then while I'm sitting at the bar, the men don't even speak. But that's just like another subject for another time. But the men just like looking, staring. Like, are you gonna speak? I think I'm pretty attractive. Say hello. Like, I'm at the bar, sitting there. I know I'm attractive. I don't know what y'all think, but I think I'm attractive. So just speak. Y'all men, just speak. I'm all out spending my money by myself and you don't even want to speak. But that's just neither here nor there. After I went to Blue Martini, I decided to go to Onyx. $20 parking. And then you expect me to throw money on bitches. Y'all do the math. Do the math.
Okay. I just realized I was talking when the mic was muted. My apologies. So I had a whole conversation with myself after that. Shout out to Solo Traveler. Um, so hopefully this will click in like after a minute or so. But the main thing that I wanted to focus in on is two things. So I got to go back to the conversation I just had. Number one, she's in Atlanta, so I'm thinking Onyx is a strip club. Somebody, if you're down there in the Atlanta area, let me know if I may be correct, because that don't seem like it's a normal club. Because she said throwing money directly on women, right? But besides that, you heard the woman continuously complain about having to pay, right? She was talking about the dinner, she was taking herself out. She had to, think about how much she was spending, the food, the tip, things like that, potential double tipping. She complained about the parking and, all this other type of stuff. And normally when guys would complain about that, or they would just have a conversation, a lot of women be like, well, you said you got the money. Like, why is it even a concern? Like, if you don't got it, just say you don't got it, right? Another way of just trying to call a dude broke because he's worried about and focused on where the money is going and how much things are cost. But again, guys have been had these conversations, and guys have had these conversations with women, and women didn't want to pay attention. So now when women got to go out here and actually do it themselves, now you start to see a whole host of women online complaining about the prices of a lot of things. And I'm like, well, the same thing applies. Just say that you don't got it. If you got to complain about it, just say that you don't got it. Just say that you broke. It's okay. you know, but the other thing as well that I specifically want to zoom in on, she was like, hey, if I'm out there at the club and I'm at the bar and I found myself to look attractive, and again, she is attractive. She looks very, very attractive. She got like the short hair going on, the sun is sitting up there beaming, everything looks great. She was like, just come up and talk to me, just say something. I want to let people know that it wasn't that long ago that I did a video, probably about like a year and a half ago. I did a video specifically pointing out the fact that women were going online complaining that guys were not showing up to the clubs. Guys were not trying to speak and talk to them. Guys weren't trying to introduce themselves. And that's because guys got tired. Because guys started to realize that, yo, it's a game out here being played. Anytime if you're a guy, you decide to go to the club, what do you have to sit up there and do? You got to sit up there and introduce yourself one of two ways or three ways. Either you might have a wingman. Number two, you might be great at conversation and your confidence might be very high. Or number three, you decide to buy that woman or that woman and her friends some drinks, and then you decide to introduce yourself. Those are the main three ways that tends to happen. The rare extent is if a woman decides to see you and she decides to come up to you and shoot her shot. But that's pretty rare. And women will only maybe potentially do that is if they find a guy to be that attractive, or if they know that the guy is a celebrity. A lot of women were actually interested. Those are the main two things. If a woman finds you aesthetically appetizing, right? They will directly just sit up there and be like, you know what? I don't really do this. I don't have any confidence in this, but I'm going to sit up there and go up to the guy and just sit up there and talk, right? And number two, of course, if the dude is a celebrity, we've seen this all the times. Anytime that there's a male celebrity, women are screaming like extra fans whenever the dude is walking around, whenever the dude is about, and they're trying to go out there and get this dude's attention. They're trying to go up there and talk to him. They're trying to really introduce themselves. Women literally throw themselves at guys that they know have some type of celebrity and fame and, draw, directly, to them and stuff like that. So again, like I said, glory to the winners, to those guys directly out there. It it is what it is. You are out here winning. You are out here, pulling, as they say directly out here. Again, I'm a little bit tired of hearing women complaining about it. It's completely nonsensical. These are the guys that you wanted. You said that you want the attractive guys, right? Because you're attractive. Then you also stated that, you want the bad boy and all this other type of stuff because they're entertaining. They're not boring. It's always something different every single day because, all this other type of nonsense. But then you get online and complain that, hey, we're all the guys to be at the club and to try to speak to me and talk to me. a lot of women got tired of guys. They were online, on TikTok, on IG, complaining at the club. They were like, yo, I'm tired of these thirsty guys coming up to me in a club with me and my friends just because we're at the club and we look good and smell good. It doesn't mean that we're there for you. We're just there just to relax from a hard day of work during the week, and we're just having a girls' night out. That doesn't mean that we want you to come speak. Oh, we got the memo. We got the message. We're like, okay, no problem. We're going to start leaving all of y'all alone. We're going to start doing our own things. We're going to stop spending money at these clubs, buying y'all drinks, all this other type of stuff. We're going to chill. And women started complaining because men paid attention and actually listened. Can't make this stuff up. But we are going to keep going.
And first of all, I take a lot of issue with black men and this definitive line that's weird between who's a lame and who's not a lame, and what men are corny and who are not corny. Because it seems to me that for some reason, men who are of quality, good men, these are the ones that get labeled corny. And men who display more toxic, less desirable characteristics are not lame. And that's a little backwards to me.
She is correct. She is 100% correct. And it's the same thing I just stated earlier. A lot of these things, a lot of definitions are very, very backwards. The guys who should be valued, the guys who should be put directly on a pedestal, the guys that young boys actually want to grow up and be like or into. Sad to say, it's not the standard issue, blue collar guy with the trade, guy with the education, guy that's, trying to be an inventor or stuff like that. Matter of fact, I might show that on the last part of the stream. There was a guy that I just recently found out about, black man. He's an inventor. And the young guy, he figured out a way to turn plastics into fuel. He basically, created a machine that reverts them back, right? And he showed that you can burn the fuels. And in one instance on his, I want to say it should be on his IG, he showed off that the fuel, I think he ended up pulling diesel directly. He refined the plastic or whatnot, and he made diesel fuel, and he put that directly into a diesel engine, and it was running directly off of that fuel from his machine. And the thing I want to point out is this: if you were to sit up there, and again, the guy's on social media, women out here can actually find him, right? If you were to actually look at the brother and you are seeing what it is that he is doing, I promise you, fields of women directly out here are going to find him unattractive. They're not going to be sitting up here looking like, oh, he's smart, he's intelligent. I want to sit up there and have, a family and kids with him so we can just have a field of inventors, yada, yada, yada. No. They're going to be like, no, he's lame. He's corny. Who cares about, these fuels or this machine? Where's the actual money at? Right? And because there's one specific thing that I saw in one of the videos that I know at a certain point in time, somebody is going to bring up and somebody is going to talk about, and they're going to try to deem that as a negative. And I'm going to just point out the fact that you have certain women out here that will see men that will have potential, and they will be the main ones to go with and be by the side of those guys with potential 9 times out of 10. And the one woman who bought the diesel truck, if I can happen to find that clip, the one woman that happened to have brought that diesel truck directly to him is somebody else. Because I can tell you, more than likely, because like I said, I don't know who the woman is. I don't know if they're associates or whatever it is. But all I know is that the brother's been doing this for a very long time. He's been, getting donations from people who have, found what he's doing to be interesting. And because of the donations, he's made I think he said like a Mark III or Mark IV version of the machine, aka Iron Man. He made another upgraded version of his same invention, which he goes on TikTok, IG Live, and other videos, and he shows off the machine. He also does lives, and he explains the process Two people, irregardless of the ignorant comments that people sit up there and make, and some people, the younger generation, have come through to say some stupid stuff, he still responds with intelligence, and he still takes it with a sense of humor because he understands, right? Because a lot of people who can't comprehend some certain things, a lot of people who don't have a certain type of confidence, they want to try to bring you down to where they are so that they can feel equal, so that they feel like they got a leg to stand on in order to match up or to have a conversation, right? He even showed off that, the conversation, right? But like I said, that brother there, I can sit up there and tell you, if I were to sit up there and have fields of women of different ages view and watch his content, a lot of women are clocking out. A lot of women are going to be sitting up there leaving. They're not going to be interested. It's only going to be a certain type and a specific few that are really going to be like, you know what? He has potential. I can see where he can be in 20 years from now if I sit up there and be right there, if I support, if I give positive energy, if I try to help out, even if I'm like a secretary or if whatever it is that needs to be done for the business, I can sit up there and do that specifically for, like I said, this is why you got some women out here winning. But like I said, I'm gonna get directly to that towards the end of the live stream. And I'm going to show you who that brother is. And like I said, the brother is that is genius. What he is doing at this moment in time, complete genius. I sat up there, I'm like, yo, this is what I'm like, let me sit up here and follow you. Let me make sure I get you on a multitude of platforms so I can keep track of and follow, and I can see you through, the timelines that I have on different, social medias, directly out there. We got Miss Callahan in the building. What is up? What is up? We got J Love. What is up? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Again, good morning to everybody. So now we're going to go to the next clip, and this is a classic one. I think I actually did a live stream a year or so ago, or a video directly on this clip solo.
First date, and when I opened the door, my man was at my front door, and I was like, "Oh, like right." And then he hit me with the Rico. He pulled the flowers out, and I was like, "Wow, this is different, right?" So I'm not even paying attention. I brush past this, trying to walk down the steps and get to the door, right? Because I'm not paying attention. I'm just so not used to it, and it just hasn't I just didn't have a lot of practice. He opened my car door. I get inside. He closed the door. I immediately went to my group chat. It's weird. Did you say he opened your car door?
High five.
No. Now let me explain, right? Let me explain. By the time we got to the restaurant, my follow-up text was, y'all, that's my bad. I just realized and all that stuff we be talking about, we don't really want it. And I felt like he technically did everything that we be saying we be wanting. In my mind, instinctively, my first thought was he corny. But he really did everything that we want. But it's
so we saw that, right?
Saying we be wanted. In my mind, instinctively, my first thought was he corny.
So we saw that, right? Let's go back over this. He showed up promptly. He came directly to her door. He came with a gift, such as flowers. She was like, okay, and then she hurried up and moved past him. He opened up, he went and then followed her, went to the car, opened up the car door so she could get in first. As he's proceeding to walk around and get into the driver's side, she hurried up and pulled out her phone, went to group chat, and automatically said, like, this dude is weird. He's weird because he showed up on time. He meant what he said. He brought her a gift and he opened her door. I want people to sit up there and pay attention to what it is that this woman just sat up there and stated. All the things that women literally say that they want a guy to do, which is being chivalrous and all of these things. He did that and still got called weird, still got called corny to a group of other women that don't even know him. This is why, and I sat up there and told women this before, this is why a lot of women are still single, not married. This is why a lot of women are still interested in entertaining the same exact men that they said are a negative. This is why. Because they go out here and listen to other women. if a woman decides to sit up there and call a dude corny, and she basically describes this, other women are like, you know what? Yeah, he is corny. He is corny. I don't want anything like that. I don't want anything like that. So then they start going towards what they consider to be toxic, but they say the toxic is bad. What is my cat doing? Hold on. Cat sitting up here playing with a bag in the kitchen. But a lot of women will sit up here and say that, yo, the toxic guy, he's bad for me. He's this, he's that. You know, he doesn't mean no good. He's just draining money and energy from me. But obviously, you're getting something in return if you keep consistently going back to these dudes. And again, a lot of women will opt. A lot of women, either older women like in their 20s and 30s or younger, will sit up there and state that, yo, I'm not dealing with no corny dude. They lame to me. They don't really got money. They don't have the things that I want to do. I've literally seen videos of women sitting up there saying a ick or something that they find, what's a better word? Distasteful or disgusting is a guy that can't take time off. A guy that can't just take a vacation or a trip anytime that he wants. And I'm like, where are we going with this? In order for a guy to be able to take a vacation, he needs to have money. He has to be stable. He has to have something there. So either he has a 9 to 5, or he's an entrepreneur, or he's a mixture of both in order to do that. Other than that, the dude has to be either stealing or selling drugs in order to consistently be doing that. And then you have women out here saying that, oh, it's an ick for me if a guy can't sit up there and spend time with me whenever I want him to spend time. Yo, what the like what is going on? We literally got close to a list. Like, somebody's been keeping track of this over the years, and the list is damn near to 1,000 with the amount of things that are deemed as a negative. Do you understand how jacked up that is? Where somebody was able to literally go through videos and create a list close to 1,000 of the things that women have stated that are negative in men. I'm like, so why even go after, even try to be with a man? Because obviously that's not realistically what you want. You want somebody that's reflective of you. So realistically, you're looking for another woman. Like, some of the things that are stated out here are asinine. And a lot of people don't understand how it is that they have self-sabotage that is going on. A lot of women are self-sabotaging themselves and their potential relationships on purpose, just so that they can have something to complain about at the end of the day. Just so that they can go on social media just to prove, oh, look at all these men that I sit up there and get, but also look at all these guys who never even deserved to even have my time, and yada, yada, yada. You don't even deserve to have your own time. You don't even know, as a woman, how to value and respect yourself. So this is why you're still running into the exact same guys that you deem as a negative or not quality enough for you, which is crazy. Like I said, it is what it is, though. People gonna learn sooner rather than later, and it's gonna be too late. Let's keep going though.
Why is it that Black women will say we want a corporate thug? Do we not realize that a corporate thug doesn't exist? Why is it that a good man is considered corny or a nerd? Do we not understand that those are the men that we want in our lives? Because the corny man is going to be there for his family. He's going to take care of his children. The corny man is going to make sure that he remembers your birthday, your anniversary, or the day that you met. The corny man will surprise you with flowers from time to time. The corny man is going to be down with you through thick and thin and when things get rough. The nerd is usually the man with the high income. He's usually intelligent, and he's going to think things through before he makes a move. The nerd is usually the man who is calculating his next move to ensure the best outcome for his family and his situation. But we don't want that. We want drama.
She is correct. She is 100% correct. Don't want the guy that's responsible. Don't want the guy that's encouraging, that's loving, that wants the relationship. You have a lot of women out here that are interested and only want drama. This is correct. I've been online for the longest time possible, and I've seen a variety of websites. So we can take it back to the early internet where women were just, showing up to certain, dating sites, and stuff like that. And they would have posts, or they would have the many little timelines complaining about the boyfriends or the guys that they're talking to. Or you could take it directly to Facebook. You can take it, hold on, give me a second. All right. So again, you can take it directly to Facebook. You can take it to IG. You can take it to MySpace, wherever you've been online the most, however old you are. I'm pretty sure that you have seen women directly online complaining about men. And 9 times out of 10, the men they complain about are the men that they should not even be with or entertaining at all. And it's always drama filled. Like I said, I've been seeing it for the longest time possible, either online or hearing conversations directly offline. Either which way it goes, this is what a lot of women tend to decide to pick. They like drama. Again, you're hearing these things, not specifically from me. You're hearing these things from women. So I ain't trying to hear nobody that would normally say like, oh, these things are skits. Nah, ain't no skit. This is from the point of view. And I'm showing you both women who are older and who are young. You got women aging from their 20s to women aging in their 30s and 40s speaking directly on this topic. So this is a variety. This is a nice little select of ages directly out here, and they're both giving different types of information and perspectives. So again, hopefully, people are actually paying attention and people are actually listening to the things that are being, stated, and not trying to specifically deem something as, oh, this seems, why does it only have to be focused on Black women? There are other groups of women. Again, specifically speaking, don't date other groups of women. So you're going to talk about the women that you are interested in, the women that the woman that you see every, single day. And, that's how that ends up, so just got to put that out there for clarification, because some people like to get kind of perturbed.
Many beautiful girls on Instagram and not that many beautiful men. So whenever I come across a beautiful man, I'm instantly like, he's so fine. Let me follow him. Then I go through his content and I'm like, wait, I acted too soon because this guy is corny. Like, the things that these grown men be posting just has me like questioning everything. Like, why do you want me to perceive you this much? You're a man. Be mysterious, at least a little, especially on Instagram. Call it toxic, call it whatever you want, I don't care. I get instantly turned off when I see a good-looking man. Like, you have everything working for you in your favor. You are a good-looking man, like you're a rare species. Why are you ruining your chances of being with a woman because you made her cringe? Because you posted too much content on Instagram that's like weird. Not to mention the way they type when you're DMing them is just so annoying. Like, why are you using 500 acronyms per message? I don't know what any of this means. Speak proper English. And if you're not going to speak proper English, at least use proper grammar. And if you're not going to speak proper English or use proper grammar and your content is corny, then you're instantly unattractive to me. I don't care. I don't care about how you look. I don't care about how tall you are. I don't care about how fine you are. You made me cringe. You gave me the ick. It's over.
So this is, again, somebody from the younger generation, and she used the terminology that I told you before, the whole thing of an ick. If you happen to go on Twitter, not Twitter. If you go on TikTok and you type in ick, you'll get a whole bunch of girls. You might have some women in their 30s basically stating this, but preferably it's usually women that's in their 20s. 20 to maybe about like 28, 27, 28, that tend to use that terminology. You'll see it directly online. It's a multitude of videos, hundreds of videos directly up there. And she wanted to say at the end, it doesn't matter how attractive you are. She doesn't care about that. But go back to the original part of the video. She stated that she originally, just off of what she saw of looks, she deemed him attractive. She was freaking out. She was like, oh my God, you're so attractive. Da, da, da. Right? She didn't know nothing about the content, anything like that. But then she was like, as I started to go more and more through your timeline and through your content, you just seemed even more and more unattractive. Let me just explain this to y'all. If the average guy, if both guys were in front of her and they both tried to speak to her, no matter how much she complained about the attractive guy, she is still going to go with that attractive guy. The other guy that is normal, that is average with average looks, average money, average height, if he tried to speak to her, she's not going to give him the time of day because in her mind, she's already fantasizing about how it's going to look when those two are on a date, the perception of other people, how they're going to look in pictures. She doesn't want to be in a picture or post a normal guy. She wants to post a guy that is attractive because she's like, well, I'm attractive, I'm pretty, I'm this, I'm that. So the guy that I'm with has to basically match what it is that I am. The other thing that I want people to understand with that is that a lot of women don't happen to go after very attractive guys because they understand the amount of work it's going to take to keep those attractive guys, because that attractive guy is actually, with you. Obviously, there's something there that he finds interesting enough in order to spend time. But women know at the end of the day, in order to keep attractive guy, you have to keep that up. And that's a very hard thing for a lot of women to sit up there and do. And the other thing that women don't like is competition. That attractive guy can be there so long as he wants to basically be there. There's fields of other women directly out here, and women look great or look better every single day. So that's a hard race to sit up there and keep up if we're just going on the attractive spectrum, because this girl right here, she may be pretty for right now. Let the times basically go by. Let the 30s, the 40s, the 50s. It's not going to be the same. Her face is not going to be the same. Again, she doesn't have any type of bags under her eyes. She has no lines, no nothing, right? Everything looks great. But again, when dealing with youth, a lot of people like to abuse it. They want to go out here, they want to party. They want to have a lot of drama. They want to use a lot of drugs. So again, beauty fades. And you'll have a lot of women out there trying to keep up with the trend of beauty. And that's a very hard thing to do because you're going to be spending a lot of money in order to do it. Everybody's seen Madonna. Madonna at one point in time, in order to keep up with beauty, I don't know what she did. I don't know what God she believed in, but whoever that God was working with her that day, because she had an Instagram post where she was looking younger than I think her 19 or her 20-year-old daughter. Madonna is close to her 70s? And for her to sit up there and magically do something to where she's looking either the same or younger than her youngest daughter makes no sense at all. Like I said, I don't even know what that is. I don't know what type of sorcery, I don't know what type of magic that is, but that is astonishing to me, and that's scary. Like I said before, I liked when it was a time where you could actually tell the age that people were. Now you have everybody trying to fight against aging, and I'm like, that makes no sense. If it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. Like, I've heard a lot of women over time basically tell guys, well, oh, if you're going bald or if you have a receding, like, no, a guy can still have a full head of hair, but he has an area or areas that are receding. Women will sit up there and be like, well, you should just let it go. You should just learn how to sit up there and let it go. But mind you, a lot of women out here decide to get installations. They're wearing hair that is not theirs, makeup, eyelashes, nails, a lot of stuff that is not theirs. So it's like, you should be the first ones to actually let some go, but a lot of women don't want to sit up there and do that. So like I said before, everybody is pretty much in the same boat. It's just that some people react and do things differently. Some people will decide to fight, some people won't. They'll just be like, hey, nature's going to take its course. Like, hey, if it's meant to basically have gray or silver or white hair, I'm just going to sit up there and let that set in. Other people like, nah, I'm about to fight this and we're going to keep fighting. But again, back to the main point. The whole main point is the fact that you have a lot of women that will say one thing about the quote unquote attractive guy, but still at the end of the day, no matter what complaints are, they will still go with that attractive guy, which also leads me into this next clip right here.
world is crazy, okay? So this boy, mind you, he's so preachy. He got the scriptures in everywhere in his car. He got sticky notes with the scriptures, baby. He's talking about God, woo, woo, woo. I go to his crib after the day. He don't want to stop talking to me. And I'm thinking it's safe because I'm like, he a man of God. He not finna try nothing with me for real. We finna play, we finna chill, watch a movie or two. I'm gonna go leave, period. Y'all, he had the Bible out, the journal out. You know what I'm saying? I said, oh, okay, man of God, right? All of a sudden, he's talking a little different. I'm like, I thought, man of God, these are not the man of God's words. Do you know? And he was like, oh, you not trying to, man of God. No. he said, oh, so you ready to go? Ah, man of God, what happened? That's so corny to me. How you gonna be preaching about God, this and that? As soon as I don't let up, now it's this. That is corny. I will never forget that. Like, what?
So we heard that, right? I'm just gonna state this: a man is a man at the end of the day. If a man is actually interested in you, he's interested in you. It don't matter what it is. He's interested directly in you. For whatever reason, she thought that he was just going to take her back to his place and they were going to play parcheesi, go over Bible scriptures. He was going to be teaching her the word. They were going to be playing chess. They were going to be watching Lifetime or some Tyler Perry movies, and that was going to be it. Ma'am, you're over at this dude's house. When you had to look at your wrist, it was obviously dark. And you were at this man's house. And you decided to go back to his house. If you are a woman and decide to go back to a man's house, that means that you are interested. So again, this is why I have a problem with a lot of these videos, because if this was a woman that wasn't interested in this dude, guess what? There would have been separate cars. If it was a date or whatever it was, people would have had separate cars, right? Because he clearly set up an act. He was like, okay, well, you're not trying to do this, so you ready to go? Like I said, I respect the honesty, because he knows what it is. If a woman decides to go over a dude's house at night, you're not going to sit up there and tell me that you weren't interested in the dude, because if you weren't, you wouldn't have initially had taken the invite to come over to his house. You would have ended it directly at wherever y'all were at, and then y'all would have seen each other the next day or somewhere during a week or 2 weeks or whatever it was, or you might not even be talking. For her to get online and just make it seem like it was a setup, that he was just like, oh, he really portrayed himself to be this man of God, but I found out, he really wasn't a man of the cloth, and that was really a turnoff or an ick for me. Yeah, that was, I was just done. Really? Really? Are you serious? That's what we're doing. And again, people wonder why a lot of women out here are specifically single. Why it is that a lot of women cannot just find a guy. He probably felt like the moment. He was like, okay, well, she's here. She's obviously interested. So, let's basically see where it goes. And she basically turned him down. And he was like, okay, I respect that. No problem. So, are you ready to go? I respect that. No problem. He ain't trying to sit up there and force himself directly on her. He ain't trying to carry it on. He's not trying to switch up her mind or her decision. He's like, okay, well, I guess you're ready to go. So, we can, I can drop you off. I'm crazy. Like, this is crazy. All I'm hearing is that the dude, he attempted, it didn't work, and he was ready to take you home. They're like, there's nothing else to do. It's late at night. What are you going to do? I can look at her and sit up there and tell you by the way that her fingernails are looking, she does not play on a game system. She is not playing a PlayStation. She's not on an arcade stick. She is not on Xbox. She is more than likely not even a PC gamer as well. So yeah, I'm not sure what you expect to be happening. I'm not sure what you expect to be happening, but obviously, what he wanted to happen didn't happen. He respected that. That's all I'm hearing. And she just, again, like I told y'all before, a lot of women will get the attention that they want just to sit up there and play around and turn down that attention so that they can hop on social media, just so that they can have a story. Again, this is how a lot of women mess up dating, mess up all of these other situations for a lot of other women. Because once a guy goes through this, guys are like, okay, I see how women are. Like, they like to play these games and yada. And it's like, it would be wrong of me if I would basically say like, yeah, all women are like this, but you have a nice grouping of women, that like to play games. We gone through how many videos? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is about the 8th video. 8 videos, and all you heard was people playing games, people sending mixed messages, people not being able to make up their mind, people deciding what's attractive, what's not attractive, and then if something is attractive, they want to find a way to disqualify that attractiveness. It's crazy. It's a whole bunch of games being played out here, and women are the one playing the games. And again, nobody out here can sit up there, oh, this is a skit, this is a skit. Where? It's coming from the perspective, it's coming from the point of view of said women. And they're putting this out there. Guys aren't forcing them, guys aren't making up this narrative. This isn't Chat GPT, this isn't any type of AI generated content. This is actual people. So let's continue on.
I have a theory that the taller a man is, the cornier he is. I'm 5'8", and I had to literally look up like this. He was probably over 5 or 7 feet tall, and he came up to me. He's like, "Are you a snowflake? Because I fell for you." And then he continued with 5 different corny ass pickup lines. My theory is because he was so tall, he was never bullied. People never roasted him. Just because, yeah, that's my theory. I don't know. What do you guys think?
So you heard that, right? So now we've gone from the average guy being lame and corny to now hearing a woman talk about tall men are corny. She's like, oh, he had this corny line, like, oh, are you a snowflake because I fell for you? Like, this is like, yo, he at least attempted to sit up there and say something. And again, now you want to try to and I want people to understand this. A lot of women out here sit up there and state that, yo, I'm only attracted to tall guys. Even when I was back in middle school, I had women sitting up there, not women, I had girls sitting up there telling me like, yo, I'm too short. You got to be such and such height. And the main thing that they would say when I was in middle school, oh, because, sometimes, I would dress up, and because of the shoes that I got, because of the heels that I got, I don't want to sit up there and like look over or look down on you. That was back in middle school. I want people to understand that was back in middle school when I was hearing that. So now going from middle school to hearing this, it's crazy. I'm like, wow. I'm like, I know who raised a lot of the women directly out here. Because it's like, realistically speaking, what is it that a short woman can realistically do with a tall guy? And I'm moving this away from sex. If the dude needed help actually building, you don't have any leverage. You can't lift the same amount that he can lift. You can't help him like support something. You can't even carry the same amount of whatever that he has to like. There is nothing realistically there that helps that guy out. Like if that dude was to actually fall out sick, if he was to basically faint, guess what? A short woman is not going to be able to carry that tall guy. You know how much weight that is on the bone structure for that tall guy? You know how much muscle is there? So how are you going to sit up there and actually carry that dude? How are you going to lift him and place him directly? You're not. You're going to be looking for people to assist you, or you're going to keep him there so that you can call EMS. Like I said, like there is no benefit away from anything sexual. There's no benefit. There is no real world benefit at all. But yet, what do you have a lot of short women out here saying, oh, I need a tall guy? That's crazy. That's crazy. And there's nothing you can realistically do that's going to be beneficial to that tall dude. Like he has to literally bend down every single time to sit up there and kiss you. If he wants to sit up there and pick you up, he has to bend down to sit up there and pick you up. He has to do all the work, literally, because nobody's on the same level. And now you have tall women making videos on online talking about how they cannot find men out there that are tall. And why is it that they can't find them? Because you have a lot of short women out here talking about, I need a tall guy. So notice how that works. Short women want tall guys. Tall guys pretty much have the field to date anybody that they want to sit up there and date. Tall women want tall guys but can't basically find them, and they're not going to date average height guys because of whatever reason that they decide to sit up there and make up. And then average height guys are just like left sitting there. See how that works? See how that works? Even if there is an unbalance, even if average, height guys or short guys can't find anybody, there are tall women out there. But tall women wouldn't even sit up there and really want to date them or give them a shot, because those tall women are going to feel a certain type of way. They're going to perceive it some type of way because they're still insecure about certain things, and they're still paying attention to what it is that other people are specifically stating and saying to them, and a perception and all this other type of stuff. So at the end of the day, if you're an average guy, you're still going to be out here losing, which is crazy. Makes zero sense at all. But like I said before, you got women out here complaining about the guys that they deem highly attractive, and now they're complaining about dudes out here that are tall, calling them corny, calling them lame. This don't make no sense. This does not make any type of sense. Like I said, this is what happens when you have social media and you give the key to social media over to women, and women now want to start allowing their voices to be heard. And then they're teaching women all of this bad behavior that led them, or this bad insight that led them into negative, bad, or worse situations or relationships. And this is all you got. You got a whole bunch of women talking. There was no type of leadership there. Because in all the videos that I basically showed y'all, there was maybe one or two women there that were trying to really speak some type of common sense without trying to negatively come down on men, or more specifically black men, right? And that was the two older women that showed a clip. I think one was 50 seconds and the other one was 30 seconds. Like I said, this is crazy. But like I said, this is what happens when you got some women out here that got that pretty privilege. They feel that they can sit up there and say and do whatever it is that they want. And these be the main ones that messes it up for the rest of the women directly out there. So again, I'm just trying to reiterate for the women out there that feel like it's guys messing up the dating scene or the situation for people or whatnot or whatever. No, it's women who are quote unquote a part of the sisterhood, or who are supposed to have the best interest out there for you. They're the ones messing this up for you. So if you wonder why it is that you don't get callbacks, why you get ghosted, why guys aren't paying for drinks, why they're not trying to take you out, why they're not showing up at the club, it's not because other men told them to stop doing it. It's because of how it is that women are sitting up to acting. And just like somebody stated in the comment section, John Doe, he was like, there's plenty of ladies who invite dudes over for during booty call hours, and the dude makes a move and she goes, no, you have to leave. That's facts. You got a lot of women out there that will sit up there and do that. Or you got a lot of women that will sit up there and say that they want to be on a date with a dude, and then when it's time for that date, they're nowhere to be seen. They're nowhere to be found. They got some type of excuse on why it is that they couldn't, make the date. And like I say, this like a week or so in advance, or several days in advance, that a date is going to sit up there and happen. And now and again, I just want to reiterate, this was a point in time where I decided to have a full-fledged conversation with myself, and the microphone was on mute. You can't make this stuff up. So we were able to hear the fact that the woman wanted to state that, tall guys are corny, right? So we went from the average guy being looked at as being deemed or seen corny. He's being respectful. He values me. He doesn't demean me in any type of way. He's not disrespectful. He has a standard issue job, 9 to 5, or maybe he has a side hustle too, and all of this stuff. Corny and lame, right? We went through those videos where you saw women label that as corny and lame, and they're trying to say that now corny is I can't get my words right. It's in season. Got stuck like a broken record. Is and it's crazy. it's crazy at the moment in time that, any guy who really wants to work on themselves, who wants to have a 9 to 5, who wants to add value to themselves, who wants to build themselves up, along with finding a person that is mature in nature, somebody else that is responsible, somebody else that could potentially be a very great partner, not just in a relationship standpoint, but also maybe in business as well. Um, it's crazy how those guys are deemed as being corny. It's crazy to me. Like I said, I don't understand it. Only women can understand this because again, these are women specifically going out here and stating that, yo, this is what we deem to be attractive. This is what we don't deem to be attractive, right? And then you heard this young lady here decide to sit up there and state that, yo, now tall guys are corny. Tall guys, I guess because they've never been picked on and never been beat up because nobody is really challenging them because they're tall. This is why they're so corny. That also, you want a guy to have physical altercations or go through certain things in life that's going to basically start to come at their self-esteem in a certain type of way so that they don't say certain things that you deem as lame and corny. At least he's trying to attempt to say something to you. So I like the stuff out here, man. It is just, I don't know. Like I just do not know um what to specifically tell people. But I guess this is what happens when you have a pretty type of privilege. You got these women out here that are messing it up for other women. They state that they got the best interest, and they just decide to do this. Get online, and they want to give bad advice to other women and young women out here trying to dictate what is and what is not. And again, when I stated before that it's not guys who are messing up the dating scene when it deals with dating, marriage, it's not guys, it's women. Because speaking on marriage, 70 to 80% of the time that divorces happen, women are the ones that initiate it first. It's not guys. So I can more than likely tell you that if we're just dealing with marriage, it'll probably look even worse when it's dealing with engagements. Because remember, women don't sit up there and get down on a knee and be like, "Yo, I want to get married to you." It's men that do that. So if the marriage, if the divorce statistic is high, oh, you can only imagine the amount of engagements that have not taken place because a woman was like, "Yeah, I ain't doing this. That's it. I'm good." Like I said, it's women messing it up for other women. The moment in time that a guy goes through these things, and these are very pivotal moments for a lot of men. They've worked very hard. They've done a lot of searching, had to go through a lot of relationships in order to find somebody that they felt was that person. That was a good mesh for them. All for them to turn around, be in a relationship for the longest time possible, and you try to get down on one knee, you want to get married, and they're like, "No, that's okay." It's like, well, we're not gonna have a relationship. And I have that belief, and I will sit up there and tell that to any young dude or any man out here. The moment in time that a woman that you're in a relationship with, she decides to sit up there and turn you down for marriage, that's the end of the relationship. There is no reason for you to continue on with that relationship. There is no reason for you to even sit up there and be there because you are not the one for her. It is just not meant to be. Just sit up there and take that L. It's going to hurt. It's going to sting, but walk on, move on. That's it. I should not still see you in a relationship or still formulating a relationship with that person or still trying to wait there for that person to be ready. That is the stupidest thing that you can do as a guy. You should never sit up there and do that because I can tell you that a woman is not going to wait there for you. She ain't going to wait for you to sit up there and be ready. She's going to move on to the next thing smoking. Because let it be told, the moment in time that you as a guy let you sit up there and lose your job, let you not have that money that you used to sit up there and have, it's curtains for you. It is over. She is out of there. Because it's more so on the fact of, what can you do or what have you done for me lately? Like I said, the moment in time, it don't matter how good a guy is. The moment in time that money starts falling apart, 9 times out of 10, a woman is out of there. Like I said, look at marriage statistics. Go back and look at who's initiating those divorces. It's not guys. there's been a multitude of instances where even if it's been found that a woman was having a guy raise a child that was not his, they're still married. He's like, you know what? We'll find a way to sit up there. That's how guys work. We'll figure out a way to sit up there and make this work. We'll take mediation. We'll take therapy. You know, we'll do this. We'll do that. Right? Because that guy is like, it's really invested. It's like, yo, this is the person I really wanted to be with. Like, what went wrong? What can I do to sit up there and fix it? I'm like, yo, it's not you. If she decided to have 2 kids on you while being married to you, it ain't you. It's her. And like I said, I showcased a video like that before where there was a woman and she was ecstatic during the interview. She was married to a guy and she sat up there and had 2 kids on this guy. One guy that she cheated on her husband with was somebody that worked for her husband. The other person that she cheated on her husband with, it was a male that sat up there and worked for her. Both of those dudes made less money. They weren't the same as the husband, and she both had kids with both of those men that she cheated on her husband with. And she was so joyful and ecstatic about what she did. Just imagine if a guy was like that in a video where he was ecstatic that he sat up there and cheated on his wife twice and got families in 2 different places. Just imagine that. But you know, the difference is that man can't sit up there and have that woman raise those kids. But like, yeah, you know, we've been in this marriage. These 2 kids that, you know, you didn't bear, these 2 kids are yours. They're yours. They're yours. We can't do that. We can't do that. And we especially can't do that to you for like 18 years. Like I said, stuff out here is crazy. So again, if people want to try to, you know, figure out why is the dating scene and everything like that so messed up, it's women. It's a lot of women directly out here. It's crazy. It is completely crazy. Stanford said some women are comfortable with trying to compare their own lives with their family and continue to make sure that they are doing the best or ism that is fine with you and their comfortable choice. Yeah. Yep. Black First, what is up? What is up? John said, my thing is women would tell me, quote, don't lie, just tell the truth. Tell them what you want. If you will actually be cool, the rest use you for whatever they want at the moment and have 2 to 3 other guys. That's the thing that I've learned throughout my life, where at the moment in time, you as a guy, you would automatically think that this, you know, person is just, you know, y'all just, you know, talking or y'all just in a relationship. There's somebody else out there waiting in the wings. There was some type of study. I think there was an article written about that, and they stated that a lot of women out here have guys in the background just waiting for just in case if the relationship falls apart, so that they can just, you know, start dating the other next person. And this is true. This is why there's a such thing called the friend zone when it deals with guys, because there are guys that women. I'm just going to generalize this. All women out here have a roster. So if you're in a relationship and things are rocky or whatnot or whatever, 9 times out of 10, that woman is going to be talking to, you know, one of her guy friends or whatnot or whatever. That's going to be the shoulder, right, that she is going to lean on. So let me just dive a little bit into personal experience. So this took place with me before, and the person that quote unquote in a relationship with or whatever decided that they wanted to have one of their guy friends to be a shoulder to lean on, and did a little bit too much leaning and just basically fell, right? And then that's how children are born. So again, these are realistic things that actually do take place. These are things that do exist. You know, it is what it is at the end of the day when it deals with and it comes to you know, these, how do you say, I'm just gonna say these situations you know, that just so happen to exist. And you know, it's bad because again, those situations are going to leave a mark on the guys that are experiencing those things, and it's going to be a bad mark. And a lot of other women are going to have to, in a sense, deal with that, which realistically they shouldn't. No woman out here should really have to deal with the mess that another woman basically, created. But because of the world that we live in, because of the fact that a lot of people go into relationships and other situations unhealed and they don't take the necessary time, inevitably, stuff like that, it happens, right? Where the person that deserves all of the mess to be thrown on them, that's the person that it should be thrown on, right? And not the brand new person that is undeserving and didn't cause any of the trauma or the plight and, all of that stuff that you're going through emotionally. So, like I said, it's tough. It is tough. John Doe said women should be arrested for putting guys in the friend zone. Um, you know what? I'll put it as a 50-50. You're only in the friend zone if you allow yourself to be in a friend zone. Because I can sit up there and tell you before, back when I was younger, I had a lot of women that I knew. Had a lot of women that, so anytime, they was going through some stuff, they would sit up there and call me, they would talk to me, all this other type of stuff, and yada yada yada. And even during that time, like unbeknownst to me, I mean, I knew, but I'm like, you know what? I care, about this person. So if I can sit up there and direct or try to tell them something, I'll be there to sit up there and do that, right? When realistically, what you end up finding out later on is a lot of those women that you were friends with and that you wanted to give advice to and all this other type of stuff, they're not going to be there for you when you're in relationships. They're not going to be sitting there in the wind or in the wings for a what if day that you need them for advice and stuff like that. It's guys that will sit up there and do that. So yeah, you got guys that will, unbeknownst to them, some guys are just stupid and don't know. Other guys do know, right? I was one of those guys that technically did know, because the main thing how you know that you're doing something stupid is whenever a woman would tell you in a conversation, like, I'm tired of all the guys that I deal with. I wish more guys were like you. I want you to know as a guy, if the moment in the time that a woman ever states to you that you've ever at any point in time found interested or you find yourself interested in, if she states to you, I wish more guys were like you need to run. You just need to leave. You just need to walk away. You need to take that L, because that's exactly what that is. She's literally stating to you that the qualities that you have are great. She would love to find those qualities in a guy, but only the guys that she is attracted in. You, my friend, she is not that attracted into you that she would want to date you, even with the qualities that she deems as a positive. Again, that is an L. I've taken that L myself when I was younger, and I was like, you know what? Damn. And like I said, life is a learning lesson. And the main thing is you sit up there and pass on that information and that knowledge to others so that they don't have to sit up there and suffer the exact same things that you have to go through and find out and suffer from. But sometimes people have to walk the road in order to actually fully learn and understand it. I, as a guy, cannot specifically tell this to younger guys, because younger guys feel that they're invincible. They feel that they can do anything. And like I said, praise be. If you feel that you can do and conquer anything, so be it. I'm not going to sit up there and stop you from fully believing that. I'm just going to put some things in there to make sure that you're not fully stupid. It's one thing to have belief in yourself. It's a whole other thing to sit up there and think that you're going to take on 14 giants, right? It's a whole nother thing to think that you are physically going to stop an 18 wheeler with your bare hands from crashing. Like we got to put, certain things into perspective so that people can stay within reality instead of fantasy, or trying to mesh both and creates a gray area that is dangerous. And again, dealing with dating in society, men are in a gray area. And this is why you have a lot of women coming out with videos being able to say any and every single thing that they want to say about guys, because guys enable and allow women to do this, because guys entertain these types of women. Like I said, they wouldn't have the ammunition. They wouldn't be able to get online and say all of this if guys weren't going out there trying to date them, if guys weren't going out there giving them all of this attention, trying to DM them, hit them up on Twitter and all of this other type of nonsense and foolishness. Like I said, You got a lot of this that falls directly on women, and the other portion falls directly on guys that enable this type of behavior. There is some symbiotic relationship, stuff going on here. But anyways, let's continue on to the next video.
Y'all ever met a guy where, like, he come from a good home, educated, attractive, what else? No kids, same age as you, but he just so fucking corny. Like, I want to like him. And no, I like him. But, like, when we talk, it's just, like, little stuff that just get on my nerves. Then, like, always bringing up sex. Like, don't care if you want to eat my... Don't care. Like, that don't excite me. But, yeah, like, what am I supposed to do? Because I like him, but he just so fucking, like, corny.
So, again, you completely heard her complaints. Another one calling somebody corny. She's stating that he said that he is sexually interested directly in her. She was like, that's a turn off. I don't really care. Yeah. Now I want people to understand this, right? If the dude was whoever her favorite celebrity is, right? If that is who was telling her that, yo, I want to do this and that to you and all this, I promise you she would not have been getting online to sit up there and make this video, nor would she be in the bathroom wearing like a bonnet so that you can see like the shower curtain. She wouldn't be doing this. This is actually looking like she's sitting on the toilet while making this video, which is even more crazier. But again, this would not be something that she would sit up there and do. She would probably be shutting up at this moment in time. We would not even hear any of these things at all. This would not even be a conversation. But yet this is where we are at this moment in time, where you have women deciding, oh yeah, I want to sit up here and I want to tell y'all, how I find this dude so unattractive. I found him attractive, but now he's just, unattractive. He's just corny. He's just lame and yada, yada, yada and all that. Like I said, there's just, again, like one of the older women basically stated, you're going to go after certain guys when you're young, when you got your youth, and you're saying all of this other type of stuff and doing these things, you're going to shut down all of these dudes. But now once you start moving into your 30s, your 40s, and your 50s, now you want to sit up there and you want to be marriageable. Now you want to act like you got some common sense. Now you want a dude to take you serious and to sit up there and marry you. Nah. Ain't nobody about to be sitting up there trying to do that. For what? For what? Like, you decided to turn down a whole host of guys because you wanted to turn down a whole host of guys because you just thought that you were just that thing. So again, be with the people that you decided that you wanted to sit up there and be with and give all of those times and all of that stuff directly to. Like I said, it's amazing to me when people don't want to be where it is that they've placed themselves. It's crazy to me. Oh, but I want to go to a video. I just thought about this. I want to go to a video that I'm sure that a lot of you guys here have more than likely seen directly online. I was flabbergasted when I saw this one online. So let me just put this up there.
7 and I'm 33.
Okay.
With being the mom of 7, do you think that a woman of multiple children is still capable of finding someone?
First, let me ask you before I make the statement. Do the kids have the same father?
Yes, they do.
Okay, well, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Okay, so this is hold on. We're talking about 7 children, okay? This is no offense to you because it's absolutely possible for you to find a quality man. What makes it a tad bit difficult is that you have to find a man who has the financial footing to take care of you and 7 children. And then you also have to be able to find a man who is going to be willing to come in and create structure in that household. 7 children on one person is a lot to create structure in. So there's a lot that this man is going to have to come in and do. On top of that, creating a secure space for you when you have to be a mother and you have to take care of the majority of the things that happen in a house. Are you going to have the ability to be able to love this man in a way that he needs to be loved, in a way that registers as love to him when you have to love 7 other individuals? You're going to need a man who can love those children as his own. Yep. That is a huge responsibility to put on a person who does not have those children. Those are not his kids. Right. But if I were you, no disrespect, I'll try to work it out with the father.
No, hear me out. Hold on.
Let me just say this as a guy. Let me just be honest and say this as a guy. The moment in time that as a woman, you basically got like a roster for like an NFL team. You got like a bench or an NBA or something like that. You got some starters. Nah, son, whoever you set up there and created those kids with specifically, you just need to go back and work directly with that guy. Like I said before, she stated that, yo, I had 7 kids directly with one guy. That's great. That is completely awesome. I'm not sure why the bar is actually set so low where, we have to actually clap for that, as if people don't have common sense and people don't know how to specifically monitor themselves or their behaviors or how it is that they specifically decide to move. It's crazy that the bar is that low. The other thing I want to highlight as well is within that video, when she stated that, let me see if I can go back. You had some women directly in there that did clap, and then you had other ones that did not clap.
Okay, well, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Okay. Right.
So you zoom out, you see some people there that are clapping, and you see other women there that are not. I want people to understand certain things. Again, the bar is set kind of low that we have to celebrate and clap this. But the other thing I also want to set up is the fact that you got a lot of women out there that won't be excited for you and that won't be happy for you because you specifically were able to, do something that they necessarily were not able to do, which is crazy to me. That's the one main thing that I want to highlight when it deals with that situation. And again, it's crazy to me. So like I said before, you got a lot of women out here that can't say that they did that. They can't say that they had all of their kids by the same father. Because like I said, it is what it is. Some women, they just go out here and it's just whatever. Right? I've known girls when I was younger where I would sit up there and decide to tell them like, yo, you already got one kid, you should just like relax, you should just calm down, just focus. And this is me, let's say like 19, 20, 21, right? And I'm trying to tell women within my age range, like, yo, just relax, just calm down. I know, you're young and, you can't really see yourself without another person. And, you might need somebody to be there because you'll feel alone because it's going to be you and a kid, but it'll work out, for the best. They didn't want to sit up there and listen. So they decided to go out there and have multiple relationships. And then they had multiple kids by multiple guys. And now they're even more lonelier. So like I said before, a lot of women know what's best for them. They got other people that care and that try to tell them what is best for them. But irregardless, they will still do what it is that they want to do at the end of the day. This woman has 7 kids by one guy. If the guy cheated, it is what it is. You got to take that L. Y'all need some mediation. Y'all need therapy, whatever it is. Should no guy be trying to fly to the mantle and take responsibility for 7 kids? That is way too much. For her to even try to be out here and be dating and know that she got 7 kids, ma'am, if you know that dating is what you wanted to do, how about you have no kids? And I had some people sit up there and tell me, well, it's just not that simple. Yes, it is. You don't have to sit up there and have sex with people unprotected. You don't have to sit up there and do that continuously or consistently. Like, it's crazy to me that people are so consistent in making the same mistakes versus trying to run away and make sure that the same mistakes don't happen? How are people more consistent in messing up than being successful? It's crazy. And then when it's time for you, it's like, yo, I'm ready to sit up there and just do whatnot or whatever. Now you want people to sit up there and basically clean up the mess that you made. And I really wish women out here would just be honest with other women and let them know, like, yo, you just need to work that out with whoever it is that you with, because ain't nobody with common sense going to sit up there and take that on. Maybe if you decide that you want to be married to like a sheik, a billionaire or something like that, maybe he might, but that's far few and in between that's going to decide to take you up with 7 kids. Just to be real, even if he is a billionaire, he like, yeah, that's I'm not doing that. Like that's crazy to me. That is crazy to me. Like I said, we're clapping up the fact that this woman has 7 kids realistically. Crazy. She got 7 kids and she ain't even married. Wow. Wow. Again, you've been with this dude for the longest time possible. You obviously found something interesting enough in him where you wanted to carry 7 kids, specifically for him and have these kids. Like, yo, you need to figure some stuff out. You need to really figure some stuff out. At the end of the day, like I said, I'm going to guess that she is in her 30s. I'm guessing. I'm not going to guess that she is in her 20s. I'm going to guess maybe 30s. But again, 7 kids, and it's probably like back-to-back type stuff, or maybe you might have had like some twins, maybe in a rare extent might have had triplets, but that's still a lot of kids to have in a short amount of time. That's crazy. That is crazy. But like I said, what's the main thing that people like to say? My body, my choice. Yep, she chose that. She didn't say that she was forced. She didn't say that anybody held her at like weapon point, or she didn't say none of that. So I just want people to also pay attention to how she chose to have 7 kids. She wanted to have 7 kids. She had these relations unprotected with one man several times enough in order to bear these kids. She put her body through that. So for a lot of people to be like, oh, where's the father? Why isn't he? She chose this situation with that guy, correct? To a point where now she's like, no, I don't want to work out, whatnot, or whatever with him. You might as well. You gave him 7 kids. What you shaking your head for? You acting like you got a choice. You acting like you got options out here, ma'am. Pack it up. Pack it up like you should have packed up some condoms. And you wouldn't be in this circumstance. You wouldn't be in this circumstance. Like I said, if she didn't have 7 kids, she would not have been a part of this talk or this podcast, this conversation. If she had 1 kid, she wouldn't have brought herself up on there trying to give, her information. No. Like I said, a lot of people will do certain things. Some people want to, really get advice. But certain times when it comes to women and they want to show up on camera, they're doing this in order to get a little bit of fame, a little bit of attention. Because 9 times out of 10, some of the women that be showing up on these podcasts and on these cameras, they have social medias. And then as soon as they show up here, they want to hurry up and go catch the clip real quick and be like, oh, this was me having this conversation and and all that. It's crazy. Like I said, anything for fame. Anything for fame. Anything for fame. What is up, Ryan James? What is up? What is up? What is up? John Doe said, but discipline-wise, everything good through her. He also said he would have to give the kids a lot of what they want. 7 is a starting lineup with 2 bench warmers. Yeah. Like, that's crazy. Yo, Carrie, what is up? What is up? Carrie said, before any advice, they need to ask, where is their dad and why is he not there? The main thing that she didn't go directly into that, I'm guessing that the relationship just went bad, or the main thing that women like to say, the guy cheated or whatever. So I'm guessing that's why he's not there. She didn't state that the father was not in the life. The lady just simply stated on stage, the lady stated that 7 kids is a lot for a guy to take on, because remember, the father can still be there, but when it deals with a relationship with a woman, depending on what's going on, that dude will now be a stepfather, aka a la Russell Wilson, right? And that goes back into what I stated before about, certain dudes being deemed lame and corny in the beginning, but then those are the main guys that women want to sit up there and go for. So again, let's say like this woman here, she would have never went for a guy like Russell Wilson. Never in life would she ever have went for a guy like Russell Wilson. It's a lot of women out here. When you go on social media and you let a lot of women talk, a lot of women will let you know, even still to this date, they will never still go for a guy like Russell Wilson. No matter how great he treats Sierra, no matter how much he bigs her up, no matter how much he supports her, no matter how much he loves her and the kids and all, they would never go for a Russell Wilson. Why? Because he is corny. Go and look it up on social media. Hundreds of women have basically stated this very thing. So this is why you got women like this one that are in a relationship where they're not with the father of the children because she chose wrong. And now she want to put herself back out there on the market to try to find the right one. Nope, you got the right one. It don't matter if the dude cheated several times. You were there enough to give him 7 kids. Y'all better work that out. I better not see no dude in the future talking about like, yeah, I wifed her up. I'm with her. That's too many. 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 You're going to put yourself through that type of stress to have to sit. No. Like I said, she got 7 kids. How was she working? That's my question. Because a lot of people will sit up there and say, oh, women can do any and everything. How if a woman has 7 kids and she's pretty much, quote unquote, doing it by herself or whatever, how are you working? What jobs are you working in order to keep up a house? How much money are you literally bringing in a year to take care of 7 kids? How are you taking all of them to like their different like schools and classes and maybe extra stuff like, let's say, like soccer or martial arts or football or basketball? How are you even doing all that? Because I'm pretty sure I would want to say logically that the kids should be at various age ranges. Various age ranges. That's a lot of to and from. That's a lot of gas. That's a lot of work directly on the car. That's a lot of stress as a person that you got to sit up there and deal with. And you got to try to manage 7 personalities on top of you're trying to do stuff for yourself. Again, that's a lot of stuff. And that's one person having to do with that. So now you want to share that responsibility with a second person. You done lost your ever-loving mind. And like I said before, God gave everybody common sense, but a lot of people decide that they opt out of the common sense part. And they just want to tap into the free will. It's like, oh, I can do whatever it is that I want to do. No problem. Do whatever it is that you want to do. Just make sure that you take full-fledged responsibility when you make the bed that you are in. If that bed is messed up, you're the one that got to sit up there and fix it. And her bed is going to be messed up for beyond 18 years. Like she is going to be like damn near in her like what 50s, 60s, when she can fully just focus in and try to find. Good luck. That's the best that I got. That's the best that I got. Ryan James said, because he's controlling and a narcissist, I'm not happy. Carrie said, meaning why he didn't stay, I guess, is what I meant to say and marry her. You know what, Carrie? That's a very good question. Why did she not list that she was, potentially marriage material or engagement material, right? After having all of those kids. Obviously, that's not something that was on the table. But the relationship was on the table enough where she would lay down with him several times to have 7 kids. So that shows you where the priorities are. And like I said, I'm going from, just assessing the situation, looking directly at her hands. I didn't see no type of ring or engagement ring or nothing like that. I didn't see nothing. So yeah, like I said, she deems having kids as being important and not being a wife. It is what it is. And, I don't know what to tell a lot of women directly out there. But I will sit up there and say this, though. I do have a certain type of belief in a marriage. But realistically speaking, from, thinking about all of the legalities and the responsibilities, marriage is not a positive thing for guys. There is really like the only thing that some people will list that's a positive in marriage for a guy is like, oh, men live longer. Whoop-de-doo. If a guy actually takes care of himself, both physically and emotionally, he'll sit up there and live longer. He doesn't need to really be married in order to have that happen. It's just the fact that a lot of guys don't take care of themselves. So if we X out the part of living longer, where is the benefit? Because a woman could decide, let's say if a dude has $1 million, right? A woman can decide like, yeah, I'll sit up there and let you marry me. And then she'll stay there for about, maybe 2, 3, 4 years, knowing that this is realistically not the guy that she wants to be with, but the money is the thing that is keeping her there. And she was like, well, I found somebody better, somebody that's younger, and he also has money as well. So I'm going to divorce you and I'm going to get alimony. So she's receiving alimony while being with another rich guy and getting money from that guy as well. Crazy. And then it gets worse if she divorces a rich guy and has kids. So not only is she getting alimony, but she also getting child support. She's getting 2 incomes and not having to work, on top of the fact of being with another guy that's taking care of her and giving her money. So where is the benefit for the first guy, the rich guy that she divorced? Nowhere. He's losing money left and right. And on top of that, a woman can go back, which is a story that I did before on this platform, where a mom, she decided that she wanted to have more child support directly from a father, even though he was footing the bill. Now, let me explain this to you, right? The guy has one daughter with a woman, right? And this was on a Zoom call. So you had the judge, you had the secretary, you had the father and the mother. The father basically stated that I'm not even sure why the child support or anything is even getting increased, because I foot the bills for the house that I'm not even in, right? So again, the father's not even living in a household, but he's footing the water, the gas, the electric. He's doing the rent or the mortgage that is there, right? And he gives all of the money to the daughter to make sure everything goes to where it needs to go. So the mother is like, oh, I want 10K in back child support. And the secretary was literally listening. And she's like, okay, so man, you want back child support, yada, yada, yada. So Mr. Such and such, do you agree that, she isn't, getting the money or whatnot or whatever? He's like, yeah, because I'm giving it to my daughter. The money goes directly to my daughter, and she makes sure that everything, gets paid. It goes to where it's supposed to sit up there and go. Right. And then the judge, because he saw what was going on, where it was basically the 2 women basically agreeing and stuff, the judge was like, hold on, sir, let me get this straight. So you're paying for the house, gas, electric, water, and you're also paying the rent for the house on top of the fact of child support? And he was like, yeah. And that's right there where it shows you how crazy this system is. That the judge had to be like, hold on, this ain't even adding up. Like, why, man, why are you asking for 10K? Everything is getting done. Like, literally, the mother's just sitting up there acting like a victim, but it's like, what is she actually doing? The dude is paying for your gas. He's paying for your electric. He's paying for your rent. He's paying for your water. He's paying for a whole residence that he does not live in, and you want more money? Man, what do you do for a living? Like I said, and this is why a lot of guys state that these systems that are in place are scams, are complete full-on scams. It's ridiculous. It's crazy. Malik Greenfield, what is up? What is up? What is up? Said, crazy how this kind of mindset is consistently pushed on women, and then average guys are their targets after so many of them would, after they shoo them away because of whatever reason they fabricate. Shameful. Yeah, it is. It is. Yo, Ty C. Roland, what is up? What is up? What is up? Good morning, good morning, good morning. John Doe said, my name, child support, is ridiculous. Carrie said, women use the internet like open public diaries instead of self-reflecting on what they did to end up in this situation. The internet provides validation of bad choices and emboldens idiots. Let me just highlight this. This is 100% bars. This is 100% bars. But this is the funny part, right? So since you basically listed this, Carrie, what a lot of women would basically try to call you online, they would try to say that you're a mammy. They would try to say that you're a pick me show, all this other type of stuff because you're listing common sense. You're coming at the situation from a logical standpoint. So because you're doing that and you're not agreeing with the mass majority are going to come down and look at you in a negative light. I've seen this and I've covered this in a multitude of live streams and videos where a logical thinking and speaking woman will look at a topic. She would look at, all the different areas, and then she would give an opinion that has no emotion attached to it just to get attacked or just to have other women in the comment section see what it is that the woman stated and then make a whole nother thread trying to sneak this. Like, it don't make sense. It does not make sense. And like you said before, you got a lot of women out there that's looking for validation. This is true. This is very, very true. Carrie said, sad thing is there are fewer women that can execute this ultimate scam of getting a rich guy. They glamorize this, and the average woman is seeing this and will never get that life. That's facts. Because we all saw what happened to Drake, right? We saw the fact that a woman was flown out and she tried to sleep with Drake, and she was secretly, like, what Drake did, right? After he is done, having relations with a woman, he gets some hot sauce and he pours it directly in the condom, right? And he ties it up. The woman, her nasty ass, decided, oh, I'm about to go into the bathroom. I'm about to trap him because he didn't want to do it unprotected. I'm about to take the condom and I'm going to reverse it, and then I'm going to insert it into myself so that I can sit up there and get pregnant. So the woman decided to do that, and then she ended up burning herself because there was hot sauce directly in there. And that's how people found out what it is that she was trying to sit up there and do. And again, you have a lot of women out here that will do stuff like that. If they know that this dude got money or he's a celebrity, that is disgusting. I'm just going to be real. There's no other way to sit up there and put it. That is a very disgusting thing to do. You're going to get a condom that was just used, and because the dude did not have relations with you unprotected, you're going to decide that I'm going to take that and I'm going to reinsert it, reverse it, and reinsert it inside of my. That's crazy. And then on top of that, she tried to get a lawsuit, and she found a lawyer to try to take on that lawsuit because they were talking about, oh, my client could have been harmed, in this act of, bro, the woman is nasty. What are we talking about here? Like I said, how they got lawyers to, how people are even able to find lawyers to even take these cases is beyond me. I guess celebrity and money goes a long way when it deals with a lot of these things. Like I said, it's crazy to me how these things happen. It is crazy. Ryan says she's a professional scammer. Yeah. Carrie said, I'm a wife of 30 years, one kid, and helped my man build from nada. He retired me at 36 because of that. That's how that works. That is okay. You say you're 50. Boy. Okay, you say you're 50 now. Okay. That's dope. That is like I said, and this is normally how things work in relationships. It's a symbiotic relationship, right? If a woman basically sees a guy and she sees like the value, she sees the potential. A woman is supposed to help and provide an avenue where that potential can go where it needs to be put, right? Help it go down that road. Maybe a little bit of an extra push, because every guy needs that. Every person needs that little bit of an extra push, that little bit of support to be the person that they are, supposed to be, right? So instead of them being a dreamer, they are a doer, right? And that's what you did. And because you invested in that guy, in your husband emotionally, this is what you were able to reap directly from that. He retired you at a very early age. You didn't have to sit up there and work no more. And that's the main thing that a lot of guys try to tell a lot of women directly out here, where if you sit up there and actually like work with a lot of these guys and you're there with them, you support them and all this, things are going to sit up there and work out. Because again, I've never heard of a woman sitting up there stating that she got a divorce. Sorry, I said divorce or whatnot from a nice guy. Never heard it ever in the history of my life. Never heard of that before. Right? It's usually all the other guys that they tend to get divorced from or whatnot or whatever. Right? So, like I said, kudos to you. Kudos to you, because there are so few rare stories out here where I can legitimately actually state that, yo, a woman, she was there and she was able to benefit from the positive actions of her investing into a guy. Like I said, shout out to you. I wish there were a lot more stories out there like that, but this is where we are. This is where we are, where I can get on a live stream and I'm showing and I can give you more negative videos versus the other, which is what you've done, the positive, right? Like I said, I told you before, I wish and I hope that stuff like this would change. And some people have stated before, like, hey, why you always showing like these negative videos? I'm like, because this is where society is. You can, you can only give people the stuff that they want. You can't, in a sense, give people stuff that they're not ready for, that they don't want ahead of time, because people are just going to sit up there and not pay attention to it. And like I told people before, I've done this for so many years where, you try to fight against, what it is just to sit up there and take a loss. And it's like, damn, I should have just sat up there and just did whatnot or whatever. And everything would have been completely fine and dandy, would have just matched up with people when they sat up there and, made it to that point where they were ready for the information. So, like I said, it's crazy. You said that you're 50 now. You do not look 50. That's crazy. That's crazy. Malik said they have no engagement ring, but they have that WAP and want the bag. Jezebel behavior at play, especially like what you said that woman tried to do with Drake. Yeah, it's crazy. It is crazy. It's crazy. Carrie said, we are out here. They just don't hear us. This is the thing. A lot of guys, like, I've showcased videos where you've had women speak positively about guys. And when I sit up there and tell you that people don't care about those videos, if I do those videos like solo or a live stream, whatever, ain't nobody trying to hear that. Ain't nobody trying to listen to it. Like, it's the most craziest thing. I've literally put up videos previously celebrating older couples that were married for, like, let's say like 60 or 50, 60 years or whatever. And those videos would not get a lot of views. Like, people really just would not care about those videos at all. They just wouldn't care. And I'm like, that's a shame. I guess longevity is not what, people want to, really go for. I guess that's not what people actually like. And I'm like, that's shameful. I wish things were actually different. I would love to be able to just put up positive videos of the culture, and it would just be that. And we could just deal with all of that positivity. We could just, relish in the fact of like, yo, look at how beautiful, everybody is. Look at how loving, everybody is, how much people respect and care and everything like that. But here we are. It is it's pretty bad. So now let me take y'all to the brother that I told y'all that I wanted to showcase to y'all. We're almost turning on to like the 2-hour part of the live stream. So let me get that video directly up here, right?
A gallon of plastic diesel. Diesel I made from plastic waste. I've put the diesel product I got into a diesel engine and it's running.
You actually put it in an engine?
Yes, sir.
Who allowed you to use their car to try out this fuel? I want to know.
Alright, Julian, you said you needed a diesel vehicle to try out your pasta diesel in, and we did it. We finally secured one.
So I want y'all to see, look at the person. You heard what the brother said during an interview that he was doing with him, right? So let me just roll back real quick, right? So this is the young brother here, right? The young inventor. He created his own machine. He fabricated, welded, put together himself, that he basically turns plastic into fuels, right? So we see the brother. You see him with the liquids. You see him explaining. In the next clip, you got this older black brother here, George Middleton, having a interview with Julian Brown, who was a young inventor. And he was like, who is allowing you to, so you did this, you got this fuel directly from the plastic, right? So who is allowing you to put this fuel into their vehicle? Because he's questioning, he's like, okay, so you have this liquid, but how do we know that this liquid is going to work? But then on top of that, who is going to actually allow you to potentially ruin their car in order to prove what it is that you say that you can prove, right? And this is the person that rolled up. Oh, let me go to it. This is the person that rolled up, and this is what I told y'all earlier. So again, this brother is on IG, he's on TikTok or wherever. Tons of people out here got diesel vehicles or whatnot, whatever. She's the one that found him, that got him a vehicle so that he can prove to everybody what it is that he was originally stating about him being able to turn plastics into fuel. Like I said, I want people to sit up there and pay attention because this is the same thing that I stated before. This brother right here, right, young Julian, I can promise you there's a lot of women that shut him down, that turned him down, that opted not to want to pay attention, that might have called him, tried to call him corny, lame, and all of these other types of things, right? And then you'll have some of the few out there that will decide to actually believe in what it is that he's doing. And they'll be like, you know what? I support you. Let me sit up there and help you out. What it is, what specifically do you need? Let me see if I can obtain that for you. Let me work with you. Let me get you the things that you need. So again, I'm not sure if Julian, I'm just speaking. I'm not sure if Julian is married, engaged, or whatever it is. I'm just pointing out the fact that this woman pulled up to the scene and got him a diesel engine truck in order to prove to everybody that the fuel works. That's all I'm saying. That is all I'm saying. So when it is that you have brothers out here, and I'm not talking about the dudes out here that's just willingly looking for any and every single type of point or whatnot to try to talk negatively about black women and all this. I ain't talking about them because they're going through, you know, some self-hate and all this other type of stuff going on that's dealing with the women and their families and unresolved stuff from other previous relationships and yada, yada, yada. I'm talking about dudes who are actually doing the work. They're building. They're contributing to society. His technology will contribute to society. It will benefit society. It will benefit the world. Like I said, pay attention. So again, she rolled up to the scene and got it. But let's just let the video play. So let me just roll this back. Just put it right there, right?
Sir, who allowed you to use their car to try out this fuel? I want to know.
Alright, Julian, you said you needed a diesel vehicle to try out your Pasta Diesel in. And we did it. We finally secured one. So we got a F350.
So this is real diesel getting that we're pulling out of this thing. In the fuel filter.
Un jour t'achètes, un jour tu aimes, un jour tu jettes, mais un jour tu payes, un jour tu verras, on s'aimera, mais avant.
So, right, she helped him get that truck so that he could prove that, yo, this works. The fuel that I'm able to basically pull from these plastics, me being able to, in a sense, recycle these plastics and turn them back into what they were. And then we can take that and then use that as fuel. So instead of us having to go directly into the ground, we can go into all of the landfills and all of the trash that we got into our oceans, and we can repurpose those and make fuels. We don't have to sit up there and dig off of the Gulf Coast. You know how many jobs that this would create? Where you can open up a lot of facilities where people are separating the trash, you're separating the plastics, and you're throwing them into like these machines so that they can get processed, so that it would then separate and make the fuel so that you can use. Like, yo, like I said, I don't know what to tell people. I don't know what to tell people. Like I said, she did that. There's a multitude of women out here that have more than likely seen his videos, that have been sitting up there watching and passing by, but they opted not to do nothing. They opted not to go to the extent to get that truck or to donate that truck or to help him showcase to the world that, yes, my process does work. That's all I'm saying. And I've looked through his social media. Not at one point of any type of time at all have I seen him get into the field of like, yeah, I'm about to sit up there and start talking. No. Everything that he does is focused on the process of the technology that he is making. The project that he is working on, all the blood, the sweat, and the tears. He is not in the same area of conversation that normal people talk every day. He is strictly in the field of an inventor. That is it. Somebody that is trying to work on and get things done to better the world and society. And like I said before, a lot of women will overlook a guy like this up until he gets money, up until he gets rich, up until he's getting $100 million contracts, government contracts, sponsorship from other companies. When that money start coming in, this is when you're going to start seeing a lot of women out there talking about him and then wanting to have a problem. But when he's not there, when he's just at the starting, you're not seeing women making videos about him, talking about him, trying to publicize him. You don't see that. Like I said, and this revolves all the way back to the very beginning of the video and how certain dudes are deemed as being lame and corny and how women don't want them and find them attractive. Somebody out there will find a guy attractive. And all I'm just sitting up there saying is when that time comes, I ain't trying to hear nobody's mouth open trying to bad mouth a dude who was never even worried or concerned or even trying to speak negatively on you. I ain't trying to hear that. Like I said, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So the other thing I want to sit up there and showcase, let me see if I got the page up. All right. So we're going to go, I'm going to take y'all directly to his IG, right? And I'm going to try to showcase some of the videos that he has. So I got to share the screen directly with you guys. Let me see where it is. Is it this one? Yeah, it's that one. Right? So this is the brother's page, right? He got 56 posts, 282K followers, right? Julian Brown. So if you want to follow the brother, he is an innovator of microwave pyrolysis. I probably mispronounced that. My apologies. Plastic into fuel, right? So you can clearly go directly to his IG. Let's see if we can look at one of the videos here. Let me see.
My Mark IV plastic into fuel reactor. It uses microwave technology to efficiently and carbon neutrally convert plastic waste into three products: liquid fuels, gaseous fuels, and solid carbon, biochar, fertilizer, pigments, fillers. Come on! So many products from plastic waste. This thing has plagued our oceans and our planet. With this technology, we can convert it into actual useful products, the fuels of this world, things we can use to build things with. I'm building my next one, my 4.5 out these big boy propane tanks right here. Join the live stream. We can talk about how I'm going to go about it. Believe in Earth, believe in humanity, have hope for the future. Let's build this machine. Everybody, take a look at this.
So if you weren't able to hear the video, you were able to read, and I'll keep it basically going so people will be able to read what it is that Julian is stating, right? So the machine that you see directly in the background, that is the machine that he uses in order to change the plastics into the fuels, right? He's able to, do different things and have, some different type of fuels directly there. I want to say one of which that you are, in a sense, able to see directly there. This is what he is doing. Again, this is somebody that is here to actually benefit society. A lot of women are not interested in guys at the very beginning because this is the beginning, right? You see how it's rusted. It's like when they, if you ever seen the first Iron Man, and Obadiah said that Tony Stark built this in a cave with a bunch of scraps. That's what he's doing. He is basically a black Tony Stark. He is up here building this with literally whatever it is that he can find, right? So he's using his mind. He has all of the equations, formulas. He has the schematics all in his mind, and he's bringing that directly into reality so that you can see it, touch, hear it, all of that. He made something that didn't exist. And this is what we are able to see, right? See some of the other videos that he got directly up here, right? Let me see.
Plastic to fuel reactor. So what we do is we load in shredded plastic, as you see here from the top, and this machine operates off of microwaves heating up the plastic. Inside we have these blades which agitate and spin the plastic around. We then turn on the microwaves and spin the blades. This allows the plastic to be evenly, thoroughly degraded. As you see, all that's left is this solid.
Look at that.
Oil out of the plastic. It turns the plastic into gasoline, diesel, and jet fuel. So we have to separate all of these out because they're all.
So let me just reiterate that. He said, so when you first put the plastics in, you saw what the plastic was looking like, right? And that was before he turned on the microwave. So he had an agitator to deal with the plastics, right? So then after he turns on the microwave, you start to see the plastics, they turn into black, right? Carbon. Everybody, if you know what melanin is, you know what carbon is, all of those great things. That's what that is. It's great. It's a positive thing, right? He later stated that with this also happening, they have to separate it because it turns into diesel, it turns into gasoline, and it turns into jet fuel. So he has to separate all of those things. Do you understand? This is why I try to tell people. You have a lot of genius out here in guys. But a lot of people don't believe in that genius. A lot of people don't support and celebrate that genius. Like somebody like Julian, this is somebody that we should be celebrating directly in the community. Like versus like the celebrities that we got out here, ordinary people like this that are making things happen like this. This is who we should be supporting. This is who we should be giving money directly into. This is who we should be investing in. This is who we should create GoFundMe's for. Like this is where. If anybody got wasteful spending, waste your money on this. Push money directly towards this. Donate towards this. Because this is something that can be changing. Remember how a lot of people always talk about, oh, gas prices, they're way too high. You don't got to worry about gas prices with this. Like people don't understand that the reason why a lot of prices are the way that they are is because there is a monopolization that takes place with a lot of these businesses. We got so few businesses that own the greater majority of certain minerals out here, they can decide to up the price or not up the price. Do you understand how this technology right here would destabilize that? Do you understand how many people would actually have a problem with this? Because they wouldn't be able to monopolize on the price. Gas would probably be like 69 cents. Think about that. Just think about that. Gas being 69 cents on the dollar because of this technology. But like I said before, a lot of people are so consumed and they're so used to how it is that things are working, they won't care anything about this. People will overlook this. Like I said, this brother, wait, let me just let the video finish before I go on.
All mixed together. And we do that through the process of distillation. So I have this simple distiller here, this glass distillation set, like you would see in science labs, and all we do is we heat it up, and as you see, now we're getting the individual components, the gasoline separated, as you see here. We also get the diesel separated.
Look at that.
Here, and we actually put this diesel into a go-kart engine, and it ran. name is Julian Brown, and this is my plastic.
That's crazy. That is crazy. Oh my goodness. Let me go to the next one. Wait, but hold on. Before I go there, this is what I wanted to highlight here, right? So this video got 24K likes, right? This brother has 282K followers. But yeah, we got celebrities out here that don't do nothing for nobody. Literally, don't do nothing for nobody. And they got millions, hundreds of millions of followers, not doing nothing. But you got somebody here literally trying to add into society. Like what he's doing right now would enlist and enable a field of job. Do you understand how this would change the economy in the United States? Now, of course, gas will go down and people will have problems. But do you understand the potential in the job market? If every state and city started to build factories where they were taking in plastic from all over, and then they were separating and managing and doing all of it. Do you know the amount of jobs that would basically help out in America? It would be tons of jobs. Tons of jobs. This would really flip the economy for the positive for America, just with this one thing. But again, looking at his page, you can obviously see that a lot of people don't care. You can see that a lot of people don't care. 282K followers, but only 24K here, 22, 170K. Like this dude, he should have millions of views. Realistically, like this should be everywhere. People should really be paying attention. But like I said, this shows you how important inventors actually are. It shows you that because people don't care. We need inventors. We need people that build. We need people that's going to add to society, help build society, move us forward. Like him, just imagine him being a professor. Do you understand how many kids, the lives that he could sit up there and change the trajectory? But like I said, nobody really thinks that far. Nobody really, looks at it, right? But let's look at another one.
Guys, we are changing the world day by day. I just put e-waste in my plastic to fuel reactor. It shoots microwaves and everything. And mind you, e-waste is one of the most polluting forms of trash because you don't know what the heck to do with it. You know what I'm saying? It's trying to recover everything. It's so mixed together. Guess what? I put it in there. Look what I got out. Look, I got all the metals. I got all the inorganic, all the organic stuff turned into fuel. I mean, goodness gracious. This was single-handedly solved a huge issue in my freaking backyard. Imagine this at a big scale. Imagine this the right scale. I mean, absolutely impeccable. Absolutely brilliant. What more is there to what you say? Turn e-waste into fuel and get all the metals out. Guys, we are changing the world.
Like that's dope. That is dope. Now somebody said in this comment section said before I repost you in, I guess that's France FR, I wanted you to have the license. Congratulations. May your project grow. Like I said, you got a lot of people out here. Yeah, I agree. Get this dude on Joe Rogan. And this is the craziest part. Now, let me tell y'all the even craziest part, right? In general, I'm just going to be honest. When it deals with the black community, black people are not going to sit up there and support him first. It's going to be everybody else that's going to support him first, and then black people will jump on and support. Then black people will start making videos. Then black people will start publicizing. Then black people will start celebrating. But you know what's going to sit up there and happen when that transpires? Let's say he gets to a Joe Rogan and whatnot or whatever. You're going to have a lot of black people look directly at this video and this picture here. And people are going to be mad. They're going to find a problem. They're going to find an issue. I'm like, no, there should be no problem and no issue. Because realistically, I'm just going to put it like this. If you are a man at the end of the day, you need to stick by the people who actually love and support you. The people who actually gave you the time, gave you the energy, they saw your dream, helped you make it to be whatever it needs to sit up there and be. Those are the people that you need to keep in your life and that you need to keep around you, because everybody else ain't going to do what it is that those people are sitting up there doing. And that's just a fact. Trust me. So like I said, whatever Julian's situation is, however his situation is, I'm not mad about nothing. I don't got a problem with nothing. He's out here making things happen. He's contributing to society, which a lot of people basically states. He's also educating people. So not only does he have this invention and he's doing this from his backyard and he's getting donations from a variety of people from all over, he's also telling people and teaching people and showing people. Think about that. How many people actually have something that works and they're trying to actively share that with other people? You don't have a lot, because usually when people have something and it's working and it's going, oh, I'm keeping it to myself. I'm not teaching nobody nothing. I ain't saying nothing to nobody. People just going to have to figure it out on them for themselves. But he's doing all of this and he's doing it for free. He's doing it for free. DSA once said, damn, early morning video. What it do? What is up? What is up? Ms. Carey said, sad part is guys like him, when they get successful and want families, a wife, they have to weed through the money grabbing girls that will try to woo him. And that is true. That is true. And that's the hardest part for a lot of guys directly out here. The moment in time that a lot of guys happen to fall into some money or get money, now you got women that are now looking at you that were never looking at you. Like I said, it's a lot of things that can magically make a dude attractive. Money is one of those things. And, money will show you how genuine a lot of people are. You'll find out that 90+% of people ain't really genuine when it deals with you specifically. Like I said, and it's sad that it's like that. It is very, very sad, that it's like that. So, that's why I sit up to say, for a lot of guys out there, you got to be safe. You got to, tread lightly. You got to be very, very, very careful. The Boulder, what is up? What is up? Good morning, said that's going to end up being the key invention to save our country. Let's be honest, fuel isn't getting any lower. That is fact. That is fact. Fuel is not getting any lower. And at different times of the year, it will raise even higher. I think didn't we have a time where gas was about like $6 or something like that? It was something crazy. It was like $4, $5, $6. It was looking real crazy. And I'm like, yo, what is up with this? But if you go to the countries where a lot of this is coming from, it's like 69 cents. It's like, it's cheap. It's almost close to free, because it's an abundance over there. So it is what it is, right? But because everything has to get packaged and it has to get shipped and the logistics of the whole thing, this is when you get the prices that you have in the United States. But also, in a sense, people happen to buy something and then they'll sell it back home for a certain amount of money so that they can just make the most directly off of it. And that's what the United States likes to do. We got a lot of other things that we could do to have alternate energy to basically house. Like, you got kinetic energy, you got thermal energy as well. And I think I want to say it should be Greenland or Iceland. I forgot. Somewhere up there, right? Where they got volcanoes. They literally made a system where they have electricity that is being made from the thermal energy that comes from the ground, that comes from the volcanic area that they are in. They tapped directly into that. It's the same thing as using methane gas. So you have, garbage or, certain types of things decomposing, they release, different gases and all this other type of stuff. You encapsulate that gas and then you can use that for other things, right? It's pretty much the exact same thing, but it's the fact that you have a lot of industries out here. Case in point, the fuel industry, petrol, that does not want alternate sources of energies or ways to get this directly out there, because then they lose money. So people got to understand the reason why a lot of the technology is not as advanced as it should be at this moment in time is because you have a lot of other people that are holding that technology back because of greed, right? Andy said Tesla wanted to give the world free electricity. Yeah. Yep. And the funny part is a lot of stuff is out there when it deals with, let's say, I was going to say bride, when it deals with vibrations and when it deals with frequencies. When you start to do a little bit of research and you start to go down that rabbit hole, you will start to understand how important frequencies and vibrations are. This is when it falls into the same gap as music. This is why a lot of people say that music, is spells and it's this and it's that, because everything in the universe runs on a frequency. It runs on a vibration, and you can tap into certain vibrations and or frequencies, and you can get certain things to take place. Going deeper into that, to give a better example, if anybody saw a old TV show called Heroes, in that TV show they had a girl that was able to play I think it was like a violin or a harp, right? So every string, when it basically showed through her eyes, every string hit a certain note, and that certain note was reflective of a certain human emotion. So basically, what they were trying to convey to people is that if you play the right tune, you can guide or have people do the things that you want them to do. So there was a string for anger, there was one for jealousy, there was one for hatred, there was one for happiness. Like whatever emotion that you can think of that deals with humans, there was a string to deal with that vibration, to deal with that energy, to deal with that sound, right? So this is why, case in point, when you look at rap music, when you have people listen to certain music, like in the club, they get, angry, they get agitated. People want to sit up there and fight. People want to do this. People want to do that. Right. And then you start to see those reactions take place in actual people. People are agitated, want to get mad and all this other type of stuff. Right. But when you have people listen to classical music, when is the last time that anybody seen anybody fight to classical music? I've never seen it. I've not really seen a fight break out to classical music. I haven't seen communities break out into fights listening to classical music. I've never seen anybody that wanted to commit any type of act of violence, such as shooting up a block while driving by listening to some Beethoven. I've never seen that. So, like I said, music hits on different frequencies and different vibrations, and it will get people to do and act a certain type of way. Again, I understand that certain people are not going to really get it or not going to see it. They're going to believe that everything is just whatever. That's just like a theory. But like I said, people can do the research for themselves, or people can try it out for themselves. When you're feeling at your worst or your downest moment, turn on certain music and see how you feel. That's all you got to do. You can test it out on yourself. There's been other experiments that test out music on plants, because again, plants are connected to the earth. The earth has its own vibration, its own frequency, right? So if you have plants growing to rap music and it's violent, it's not loving or anything like that, you're going to see what takes place. But then if you swap it, you have a whole nother plant basically sprouting and growing, and it's happening by way of music that is actually loving, that is nurturing, that is caring. You're going to see something vastly different happen. Like I said, there's tons of experiments that people can do in order to see these things take place. Another experiment that somebody actually did with vibrations is talking to water. Right? Some people are like, what do you mean talking to water? That's completely stupid. It doesn't make any sense. What it means is that water resonates. Water will keep memories. There's technology out here where you can hook it up to, let's say, a glass window. And with that technology, you can play back certain things from that glass, because the glass is crystal, because crystals hold information, right? That's going to go into a whole nother thing, dealing with like crystalline structures, dealing with technologies that have tons of potential for storage and transference and different stuff like that. That's something like later on that people will start to get into and hear about and actually like understand once mainstream media tells people about that, or once the powers that be basically release that information to people, right? But you got crystals within glass, and they're able to hold a certain amount of information. You can put technologies directly on there, and you can, in a sense, play back or hear a resonance of that information or a conversation and a different stuff like that. Like I said, the technology that we got directly out here is completely crazy, but it's just the fact of the matter that a lot of things are being suppressed, a lot of things are being held back, and yeah, this is it's crazy. It's crazy. John said, I hope he saved the schematics and have stashed copies and blueprints somewhere. The best thing, I'll put it to like this, because I remember a movie with Keanu Reeves and Morgan Freeman called Chain Reaction. The best thing, in a sense, for any inventor to basically do is to, in a sense, at a given point in time, if anything were to happen, just release all the information, all the schematics, everything, all over the world. So everybody basically has it. So it is impossible for one set group or a person to basically try to keep hold and smother, the advancement in technology. Because like I said, I'm tired of it. Like the advancements that we should have, technologically speaking, where we should be, we're not advanced. Like we've had civilizations that were far more advanced than where we are at this moment in time. Yeah, we got some technologies here and there, but in comparison to the old, comparison to the previous architecture of past years, nah, we ain't nowhere close. Everything looks stagnant. Like when you look at the buildings, when you look at the structures, everything is stagnant. When you look at the technology that we have right now, where they're talking about, okay, Wi-Fi 4, 5, and 6, yeah, everything is running through the exact same, fiber optic or whatever cable connection, and everybody is not really getting the connection that they deserve. If you actually had a machine that was giving out these waves or whatever, everybody could just get directly on that, and they're getting that for free. It's not coming through some fiber optics going slow and all. It's not doing none of that. It's not doing none of that. But like I said before, when you have the powers that be directly out here, they're going to control certain things. And if you look online, I think they might have mentioned like Wi-Fi 10, even though we're not directly up there or whatnot or whatever. There's also some things with that technology that needs to get worked out, because the negative effects. There's a video that I covered years ago. It might not even be on this platform anymore, where it dealt with Wi-Fi tech, and they were using, instead of using the longer waves, they were trying to use the shorter waves. The shorter waves are stronger, but you need more machines in order to put those waves directly out and keep them consistent. So you have people in California. These were older people in California that got money, and they went to City Hall and they were stating that, hey, we don't like the plan for this technology to really be here, because not enough studies have been done, and the studies that have been done have showed that it's detrimental to nature. It has a negative impact on bees and a lot of other things. It can have issues when it deals with people and stuff like that. So they were just simply saying like, hey, before you do this, how about you guys do some more studying, some more research before you try to put this up near our homes, near our schools, and all these other types of things. So something else that people will happen to hear about a little bit later on will be the installation of some of these networks throughout the country, and that took place and happened at a certain time where everybody was made to pay attention to other things that was going on directly in the world, where stuff was pretty much shut down and all these other stuff. Like I said, people are going to hear about some of these things a lot later on. There were also videos where people were showcasing that these things were being installed near schools, near neighborhoods, near malls, and all these other types of places. So people will learn about it. The moment in time that everything starts going green and going gold, how it's supposed to be going, people start hearing about it. And when I mean green, I don't mean like environmental safety or health and stuff like that. I just meant green as in go, whatever. John Doe said the United States loves stealing people's creations and making sure the creator can't duplicate it. Bars. Stardust, what is up? Good morning. Good morning. Said a lot of the alternative energy / fuel people tend to end up mysteriously unalived. This is true. Andy said, without vibrations, everything ceases to exist. This is true, because even dealing with, if I'm saying this correctly, on a molecular level, you can see everything vibrates. I think even when they were talking about string theory and trying to find the, what was it, like the Higgs particle or the God particle, whatever, everything vibrates. Like within your body, within anybody that's listening, within your body right now, every single cell, every single atom is vibrating. Everything is moving. It doesn't matter how fast it's moving or how slow it's moving. Everything has a vibration and everything is, moving, right? Everything is giving off energy. That's the thing, and nobody actually understands it. So realistically, it's almost like your body is a reactor, and it's like you just don't understand how to tap into and to focus in that actual power. So it gets a little bit funny when you start looking at a lot of these, animes and a lot of these shows where you see characters like powering up and they're doing all this other type of stuff. It's like realistically, if people were able to focus the energy that is in their actual selves and they were actually able to bring that out, you can do a lot of things. You could probably also enhance your own strength to do a lot of things. Now, some people are like, yo, man, you're getting a little bit too much into like the come, but can't nobody do that. That's not real. This, that, and the third. And I mean, well, I guess you can say that. But we can also list the fact that as people get used to certain things, like one girl that was able to rock climb and she did that for her whole life, her hands and her feet adjusted. So she doesn't have normal size hands like most women. Her hands are more elongated. Her hands are thicker. Her hands are stronger so that she can climb, so that she can do the things that they need, them to do. Right. Just like in somewhere over, like I think like close to like Indonesia or whatnot, you got a small little island of a group of people that pretty much spend their lives in water. They do their fishing and everything in water, so their eyes are way different from everybody else's. It allows them to actually see in murky, in dark waters, right? So the moment in time that people do, more research and find out certain things, you'll see how the human body can basically adapt and perform and do certain stuff. But that's up to the user. That's up to the actual person. So a lot of things are actually possible, are actually feasible, right? But anyways, go back to the comments. John Doe said they took Tesla's machine and gave us trashy solar panels. Yep. Hayden Panettiere as the cheerleader. Yep. Save the cheerleader, save the world. Andy G said major chords are happy, minor chords are sad. Let me see. Ticey Rowland said they showed, wait. Oh, yeah, they showed that on They Clone Tyrone. Yep. Miss Callahan said, John said our cars should run off of water or cooking oil. It should run off a lot of things. I remember hearing a story about a car. It was either Ford or GM made an engine that was able to run off of any liquid. Chanel number 5, water, gasoline, detergent, soap, whatever you can make into a liquid, that engine can run directly off of that. To also put that into another extent, they got a theoretical engine. I'm not going to say it's really theoretical. They just didn't show people. But they have something out here called thorium. And they basically stated that if there was an engine made to basically use thorium, one piece of thorium could basically run on that engine or within that engine for 50 years. So think about that. You can make an engine that can run off of one material, and that material could last 50 years. Do you understand how the air quality, how the quality of life will be drastically different? How it is that we will be able to travel around the planet, the world, and different. You wouldn't have to really worry about nuclear, waste. You wouldn't have to worry about drilling, right? You wouldn't have to worry about messing up the Earth's, like, people don't even, like, man, it's crazy. Like I said, a lot of the technology that is out here is completely crazy. Andy said, all companies know that there's no money in the cure. It's all about repeat custom. That's facts. Ms. Callahan said, I remember when 5G scared the hell out of some people. Yeah. I mean, and people do have a right to, be scared when it deals with a lot of technologies because, everything has not been fully studied, or it has been studied. They just don't want to release a lot of the information. Remember, if people go back farther enough and you go back to some of the cell phones that we had, they will tell you in the instruction booklet, like, yo, you are not to have your cell phone directly on your person. It is not to be near you. You want to like have that far away from you because everything releases microwaves. Microwaves are not good, right? So when you look at videos and you look at a lot of these technologies that we've been sitting up here using, it's like, yeah. So, when you look at the fact of like, oh, my head hurts, I'm getting headaches, and this is how, yeah, it's because of some of the technology that you're using that you have directly on you. That's where, a lot of that stems and where a lot of that, comes from. Andy said quartz is the most famous vibrating rock, so much so that we now have accurate time due to it. Yep. Yes, indeed. So let's continue on with the brother and see what it is that we got here. Let me see. Does he have any other videos that have what's the name still? Let's see.
The process of pyrolysis, turning things back into fuel, has been around since the beginning of Earth. That's how Earth turned algae and such into crude oil to begin with, right? The only issue with it on a technological level, and we as humans try to develop it, has been its efficiency. It hasn't been worth it energetically because it would take more energy in than the energy you would get out. So I innovated in the field from standard pyrolysis, which is when you just use a flame to heat things up, or just like resistant coils, like oven heaters pretty much to heat things up. I'm not the first to do microwave pyrolysis. However, I'm the first to create a design of microwave pyrolysis that is scalable. Scalable on a level that it can be made as big as it needs to be, as small as it needs to be, and it's always efficient. So, for example, this machine here, built on a home scale from scrapyard parts, handmade, the energy input would be 25 kilowatt hours of electricity, and the output together was 48.8 kilowatt hours. So we were getting almost double the energy out. The process of pyrolysis.
Right. So that's dope. Like I said, we need you got a GoFundMe up there too. So I'm not sure if this GoFundMe is still up there. It might still be up there. He said, first of all, I want to thank everyone who has donated to the GoFundMe, naturejab.com, Cash App, and brought merch and donated in the live streams. I am truly grateful to have such a strong supportive community and appreciate you all believing in me being a vessel to heal our earth. It's crazy that we got people out here that can like fabricate and tell lies in order to get famous. But yeah, you got a brother like this that's simply asking for some money so that he can continue to build, right? And you got people not wanting to like really do that. There's no reason that he only got 115 donations. There's no reason that he should only have $3,000 directly up there. He should have been over that $1 million goal. Like, it's crazy how much money people will donate to celebrities and give to celebrities, knowing the fact that these people are already rich. But you got everyday people that have this type of genius, and people don't want to roll up into like really support. We pay corporations such as McDonald's. We go directly to markets. We spend money directly on nonsensical things that break down over time. But here we got a brother that's creating something that can make both jobs. He can teach little kids directly about this. He can teach other people and communities directly about this. He's building something that can literally change the world. And as he stated before, this is a technology that has been around since the beginning of time. So the information and stuff is directly out there. He was just like, you know what? Let me just sit up there and let me just do something with this. Let me do something with this since I got the knowledge and I got the know-how to sit up there and do it. And like I said, this is dope. And he is doing this himself. Come on, man. Come on. Crazy. It is crazy. Like I said before, I might have to sit up there and at another time just do a solo live stream just off of some of his videos and on his social media platforms. Because like I said before, it's crazy out here. Like I said before, all the time we focus on, a lot of the same stuff, the same conversations day in and day out. But when it deals with more important stuff, nobody's nobody's really trying to focus in on stuff like this. Nobody's really trying to focus in on stuff that's actually going to make a change. Like I said, case in point, let me do it like this, right? I'm just going to use this for an example as somebody who is like hugely popular, right? So we'll have somebody such as, let's say, like Roland Martin, right? Hugely popular. He did was it News One back in the day? He had his own show and everything like that on a network, right? And then after that, he built a network directly online and became, I want to say, even more famous, right? Than when he was just on that one network, right? People, household name, people know about him and whatnot. How many times have you seen somebody to the effect of like a Roland Martin talk about the geniuses out here, talk about the inventors, bring them up, give them a platform, want to invest, want to elevate them, want them to sit up there and start teaching kids on how to get into like this type of field where you can fabricate, or the tech field, or welding, computers, right? Because there's a lot of things going on when it deals with what it is that he is building, a lot of different areas. So, like I said, this avenue it's multifaceted, and it can send a child in different areas that they didn't even know realistically exist. So instead of realistically having kids that are like NBA, football, NASCAR, dance, like instead of all of that, you can easily start putting kids into technology. And this is something that I advocated for and I talked about before. Like I said, but I guess that's not the culture. I guess that's not where people really are. I guess that's not what people really want to, take place and happen. It's a lot easier to have people in certain places and to think and to perceive society in a certain type of way versus trying to elevate a different avenue. And this brother right here, Natural Jab, this is a different avenue. This is a positive avenue. There is nothing negative about this. Everything is all positive, and there's a multitude of ways to literally make money. He could teach this information to a family that is all about, like tech, about building, fabricating, welding. Like, people don't understand how far this can sit up there and go, and how this can really start to change. Like, let it sit up there and get taught. Let him do what it is that he is doing. Let him do this 10, 15, 20 years and allow him to teach that same knowledge to other families, other kids out here. It will start to make a shift. It's going to take that long for people to actually notice and see it. 10 to 15 years, it is quite a long time, but it's actually a short period of time when you think about a lifetime and all this other type of stuff. But like I said, it can go a long way. Like, this dude is an inventor. He is a teacher. He is a believer. Like, this is, like I said, it's a beautiful thing to sit up here and see. And again, this is somebody that you would not really see other people publicize, because he's doing something positive. There's no drama. There is no negativity to this. There is no type of aha, got you, or anything that people could actually do, because 9 times out of 10, dealing with content, a lot of people are used to drama. They're used to the anger. They're used to the negativity. So when you have a guy like this, and this is all of his content, this is what it is, a lot of people are like, oh, that's nice, but I can't do nothing with that. Because they know it makes money. They know it sells. So again, this is why you're not going to see larger platforms go out there and really try to put him on, unless that they can, try to find something there. Now, you may have a rare few, talking about less than a 1%, that might have a huge platform to be like, you know what, I'm going to put this guy on because I want people to understand and know what it is that he is doing. This is something positive. This is something good. This is something great. And again, like I said before, I would like for him to be on Joe Rogan's podcast, because I feel like that would be one of the main platforms to get his information directly out there, to get people really tuned in to what it is that he is trying to do. He would get a lot of support from a lot of people all over the world. He really would. Like, the amount of money that he has in his GoFundMe, it would exceed all of that. Like, he would be able to probably get like a factory, and he could really start like a real major process. Like, people don't even understand how large this could actually get, and where this could specifically put him when it deals with the field of technology, and how that could help and enlist and start other people directly on that exact same walk as well. Like I said, chain reaction. But that's pretty much it, guys. That's pretty much it. Again, I did say that I wanted to end it directly on this brother's platform, and the stuff that he is doing. Again, if you want to go through and you want to see the brother, you want to see what it is that he is doing. Oh, that's dope. He was in his newspaper. It said this was from 2023. They said he is close to getting his patent for his invention. That is dope. Julian Brown has developed his passion for the environment into a recycling invention. The 19-year-old Douglasville native is working on an invention that will turn plastic into gas and can power the machines in automobiles. Last December, he received a provisional patent for his invention, which uses his welding skills and recycled microwaves. Quote, most plastic is too contaminated to recycle, Brown told members of the Douglas County Rotary Club. Quote, I've always been passionate about the environment. I consider myself a problem solver and I want to help. Brown studied welding at the Douglas County School System College and Career Institute, CCI. He has made 4 prototypes of his invention with scrap metal parts and microwaves. Now he is ready to make an industrial machine. Brown is speaking to various groups to help raise money. Let me see. And I think they got a smaller part down. It said Julian Brown has built 4 prototypes for an invention to turn plastic into gas by using his welding skills and passion to help the earth. Like I said, that's dope. And he's also in his local newspaper as well. That's dope. That is a beautiful thing. Like I said, I wish more. And he's 19. This is 2023. So now he's 20. So just imagine that. He is nowhere close to 30, nowhere close to 40, nowhere close to 50. This is what he did at a young age. And this goes back to what I stated before about how important trades are. This young man took a trade skill that he went to school for, and used that in order to create the invention that he has now that turns plastics into different forms of fuel. Think about that. Young black kid doing this. 19 in his own newspaper. How many black people on social media do you see trying to big him up? Trying to talk about him in a positive manner, trying to showcase this? You don't see it. You don't. And if you do, it's less than 1%. And that's terrible. But I'll leave off on that because I feel like that was a pretty, dope thing directly right there. Let me see. Before I go, what did Andy say? Andy said, trust me, the petrochemicals are taking notice. And I believe that he'd be given 3 options. 1, you work for us. 3, extra project. Or number 2, we will get you. Like I said, the best way to deal with that is to just release how it is to build all of these things directly online. Because then it's like, it's a whatever now, because the information will be out there and anybody could, pretty much do it. But again, all of his videos are directly online. So, I'm pretty sure if I go farther enough in his videos, he might even showcase on certain things, how he built, certain stuff, directly up there. So, like I said, I can't wait to see, what everything is going to look like in the future and how everything is going to, work out and where he is going to, sit up there and go from there. Like I said, we will see. But anyways, much love, respect, and appreciation for any and all of you guys who have been here for the longest time possible during this live stream. Love you guys a lot. Appreciate you guys a lot. Much love, respect, and appreciation to anybody who has donated to the live stream by way of Patreon, PayPal, and or Cash App. I wouldn't be able to do the things that I do without people like you. And again, you guys will be free to play these things, to play the live stream, I guess, after it goes through the process of YouTube, whatever, and it'll be, posted directly up there for you to view at any moment in time. Because I know a close to 3-hour live stream is a long time, but hopefully this will help somebody get through a few hours of work, just listening to, the stuff that has been stated. And remember, I will do another live stream at a point in time where I will specifically just focus in on the young Julian Brown and the technology and what it is that he is doing directly out here. So again, love you guys. See you guys later and have a good morning.